Welcome to the Uninvited Podcast, where we talk about things that probably would not get you invited to your next dinner party. Yo, we got a live audience with us today for the first time. Yo, give it up, y'all. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. And with us, we got Chris, Matt, and Dwayne is with us, right? And shout out to the producer of the show, Fake Cool. Much love. We got here looking really good. With that being said, man, let's go right into it from where we left off. Dick Sucking Demons. They're back.
Look at Demo. Look at Demo. Look, oral sex. Oral sex, Demo. You see oral sex? Look, oral sex. Look. You oral sex. Use oral sex. Let that sperm of that man out. Out, you Demo. Out. Let go.
Delivered me 2 Sundays back, then a demon came with his penis and put it in my mouth. And then he came again and he slept with me last week, and I told the pastor that I need deliverance again. And since then, my private part has been itching.
You've been itching?
Yes.
Yo.
Who are you?
You know what?
Who are you?
Let it keep going to the point where he sprayed her.
Look at Demo.
Yeah, let me get the spray.
This is the spray.
Look at the spray, guys. Yo.
Spraying her private part.
Yo.
And afterwards, she said that white smoke came off. So this is the aftermath.
What happened to you today?
Delivered me today, and then when I went to the bathroom, I think 15 minutes later, some white stuff came out.
All right, y'all.
This
All
lady
right.
needs a
Yo,
shower.
look.
She needs a shower more
The
regularly.
man sprayed water. The water got through her clothes into her pussy. Right? And now she's delivered and white stuff coming out. Talk to me, Matt.
I didn't.
You gotta talk to me.
I'll put it like this: if this was staged, I hope she got a good payday out of this. Because
What
like
you mean?
you got to think like this is somebody's could be somebody's mom,
What?
somebody's aunt. Like that, if it's staged, I hope she really got something out of this. And the thing is, if it's real, this is why certain things just shouldn't be filmed, like oral sex demons.
Yeah, but like, check it, right? We're in the days now, like, you know, all bets are off. Like,
Right.
everything's filmed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they knew what the hell they're doing.
Right. Like,
Filming that. You know what I'm saying?
If it's real, then like I commend her for signing the release on that, because
Also, you're agreeing that she is staged.
no, when I mean this, I really don't know.
She couldn't be my mama, man.
You think
She
it's
couldn't
real
be-
though?
No.
You think she really
Nah, she
experienced?
could-
No. Wait. You think she really experienced a sexual demon?
I just don't
That came
see if it's real. Like, why would she sign off on that?
I see. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, there's certain things that you just can't really. I don't know. I just wouldn't sign that release to. Okay, you guys can use this as footage for your ministry to show what kind of ministry you guys are. I just couldn't.
So then what is it though? Like, all right, so if we're giving her the benefit of the doubt, right, then what is it?
Right.
I think it's
Is
fake,
it-
man. I don't want to go that far, because there's, I'm a skeptic at heart. So every once in a while, when you're skeptical enough, you'll see something that messes your mind up. So I don't want to speak definitively that this is absolutely fake. It looks pretty fake to me.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple of churches that they prime people like, all right, listen, this is what we're going to do so we can get that tithe money up. But in this particular case, she couldn't be my mama, because like I can't go to school after that. Like I can't even go to work after that. Be like, hey, wasn't it your mom with the oral sex demon spitting
Yeah,
out
man.
semen?
Yeah, I
and
would feel-
apparently
yo.
she didn't take a bath after the
Yo,
encounter.
I would
She just
feel-
waited until
Yo,
the church thing
word,
so that the
word.
semen could miraculously come out. I'm like, dude, bathe after.
Word,
Like,
I would feel
walk
crazy.
of shame and then bathe.
Did you also notice that she talked about her privates itching? I didn't know a demon could give you chlamydia.
Yeah, yeah,
Apparently, that's a thing.
yeah.
Also,
She needs a vaccination, sir.
Also, what I noticed in the video was when he was pointing to her and he was like, oral sex, oral sex. She started nodding her head.
Word.
That
Thank
means
you
he
for
was
catching
there.
that. Thank you for catching that.
Why was she
Thank
nodding?
you for catching that, right?
Oh,
yo,
is that the cue?
yo, check it, right? She's
Why
doing
is
that.
everyone so afraid to
Yo,
say that this is
she's
fake,
doing
yo?
that. No. Right. It's fake as hell. But yo, check her face when he start talking to her, yo, right? Yo,
You mean right here?
yo, check
right
her face
now.
right here, like right before he asks her. Look at her face. Like, rewind it just a little bit.
After I sprayed, something came out white. Put your
Something
hands
came out white. That's cum. Or she wet or something. Look at this, dog.
Those are
Look at this.
Those are
What-
lusty.
Stop right there.
Those are lusty eyes.
Nigga, what is that, yo? What is that?
Those are. I took care of it past their eyes.
Dude,
That's what those
dude,
are.
I am very good in in reading body language, dude. What the hell is that?
That's the come and get
That's
it.
like past
That's the come and get the cookie face.
Past it. Did I do it right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, like, yo, what is that, yo?
That's
Look at that eyes, man.
That's she likes him.
Matt, what is that,
hate to
yo?
say the-
No, Matt, you gotta talk to me on this one.
She's looking at him, man. She's
Like,
trying to make sure.
Matt, these are looks of endearment,
her
bro.
eyes.
These are looks like, no.
She's like, he's a powerful man of God.
No. Yo, that's a look like he could get it too.
That's the come and get it.
That's a
What
come
do you
and get
mean
it
get
look.
it? Come and get it. Come and got it.
Yeah.
Come and got it.
Well,
Oh, I ain't gonna say all that.
Question
No.
is, why would she sign up for it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, check this out, man.
I'm saying if it's not real,
It's not.
then like
so you
I
believe?
hope she got a good payday.
You-
out of this.
All right,
Like,
so you
that's
think it's
all
fake?
I'm
You think it's
saying.
fake?
Her payday was the night
And if
before.
it is real, I don't understand why you would sign off for them to use that footage.
Dude, look at that face, though, man. In the beginning, she's like you said, you caught that joint, right? She's just like, yeah, and then now look at that.
Her kids couldn't go to junior high school with me
Nah, I feel you, dude.
because I would be merciless. They would kill themselves after.
Dude,
like
I
I was
hope-
like,
I
hey,
hope-
wasn't your mother on YouTube with the stinky itchy coochie with the cum coming out of her mouth? Was that her? That was her, wasn't it? Just leave. Drop out of school.
That would be torture. That'd be torture for a kid.
Did
yo.
they see? Like, I would do this. Like, I mean, it would be nasty, but I would have gloves. Like, I would test to see if I was like really skeptic.
You,
I would test to see.
Wait,
if
wait,
that's
wait, wait,
really
wait.
sperm.
you would stick
If
your
I'm a
finger in there.
No, I know. I said if I was really a skeptic. I said I wear
not that. No.
gloves. If I was a scientist, I'd like.
If
get
you was a
petri
scientist,
dish
Matt, tell us how you feel. What do
to
you
see
mean?
like, okay,
I wanna hear more
this
about
is
this.
demonic sperm. Then this stuff needs to be tested in a lab. Like,
What?
if it's an oral sex demon and she's spitting out
Yo,
sperm,
Matt. Okay, all right,
then
go,
some
go.
scientist needs to go back in that garbage can and test
Really?
to see if this is demonic sperm.
How would he know?
It wouldn't look like human,
Wow.
right?
What the hell? But no, wait. But she opened her mouth and the demon sperm was coming out. That looked like human to me.
It looked human.
Yeah. Demon sperm was coming out her mouth right in the beginning of that video.
She held it for weeks.
Huh?
Because she said last week, the last time he was with her was last week. So she was holding the demon sperm in there for weeks.
Yo, that's-
she needs to wash more. Like she needs to bathe.
Or she got one hell of a stomach. But,
Like cherry blossoms and suds and everything. She needs all that.
But nah, seriously, dude. Like, Matt,
If I'm a scientist, I'm gonna
Are you a
go
scientist?
to the ends of the earth to figure
Guys,
this out.
guys, this
Because the thing is, like, if demons have sperm, then there's something wrong with everything in this world.
yo,
Demon have sperm. It's almost like this is almost like some old what's that Rosemary's Baby type of thing going on. Like this could really be a thing. You know
but
what I'm saying?
have you ever heard that though?
What demon
Like
sperm?
like a demon, like seriously, have you ever heard a demon just getting into people and doing all types of stuff like
I've
sexual
heard yeah.
sexual activities and all that stuff?
Come on, man. I went.
Yeah.
Let me see. I went to church. I'd say for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
In those 5 years, there were multiple accounts of people saying, "Hey, I had a dream that I was having sex with a demon and some crazy stuff happened, or a demon came and had sex with me at night." You know, usually they'll come up just fanciful, wonderful stories about certain things. I guess either for attention or whatever. But I don't know.
But-
You don't know if it's
So-
real. I'm
so-
not gonna be at your house.
Yeah,
But it never manifests in the physical.
Well, yeah, but we don't know if this manifested in the physical either.
Well, that's what the claim is.
Come on, man. You've been to enough one of those places where you go out to Jersey in a hotel and there's like a part of the service where people start going nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this happened. I got delivered from this. We don't know if those are real things. We just know that's what you told us, and I guess we'll just go with that. But this, I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm trying not to be totally skeptical. That's it.
Have you ever heard that, Matt?
Like,
demons performing sexual activities with people.
yeah, I've heard of certain things. Like, I've heard, like, Christians who try to explain, like, wet dreams and things like that.
Yeah, wet dreams
nature.
happens to everybody, though, right? Every every boy had a wet dream,
Right.
But it wasn't necessarily like a demon. Like I had wet dreams.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, I might still do have wet dreams, right?
Okay.
No, I mean, hey, what I'm saying, what I mean is,
No, keep talking.
No, what I
keep
mean
talking.
is, come on,
I'm
guys,
gonna get
look.
this passed on.
What
you.
I mean is, you get up and the joint down there is kind of like it's leaking, right?
A little leaky.
It leaky,
Yeah, little
leaky,
leakage.
leaky.
Little leak.
It leaks.
Yeah.
That happens to everyone, dude. That happens to everyone. Females, males, everyone. You get down there and it's a little moist down there, right?
I mean, maybe a little, but what you're talking, you're
No, I'm not talking about massive moist, bro. I'm talking about just a little tap, like a little,
Yeah.
little moist
that-
down there. It's
yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
Things come out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to. It's natural. It's not necessarily a demon, though,
No.
right?
Yeah, it's not a demon.
Is it? I don't know.
No, a demon is-
I'm just trying to figure out if this ever happened before, or are we just seeing this for the first time?
No, it's not the first time. Come on, man. Everybody's been to enough churches, especially like the more off the fringe you get. They'll come up with some crazy manifestations
yes.
and
Thank you,
stories.
sir.
But like, hey, this demon. I never found a demon that comes in and does your taxes while you're asleep. That'd be a helpful one.
That's
right?
That's too good.
That's a helpful demon.
That's
too
a helpful
positive,
demon.
yeah.
And I'm not saying
Well,
that
it doesn't exist.
Why?
Oh, that doesn't exist, Matt?
No.
You can have the oral sex.
you know
demon.
what?
The Bible says the enemy comes to steal,
Oh, right.
kill.
Right,
and
right.
destroy.
That's true, but that's a good point, though. How come the demon always comes, right?
Apparently.
Okay, how come I never have an angel come and say, "Yo, bro, let me fill up your bank account"? Why is it that every time I have a spiritual encounter, right, it has to be in the form of a demon coming and terrorize me?
Well, I mean, that's usually how it
You know
goes.
what
Because
I'm
the
saying?
enemy
Like-
comes to steal,
Right,
kill,
but Matt, that's all that happens.
And in the oral sex demon's defense, that's not necessarily a bad demon to have in certain circumstances.
What do
well,
you mean?
it's bad if it manifests.
Wait,
No,
wait,
in
wait,
this
wait, wait,
service,
wait.
like-
You want a demon to come suck your?
No, I'm just saying if they, if I'm with my wife.
Wait a minute, Dwayne. You
I
want?
need,
Wait.
sometimes,
No,
my neck is a little
Dwayne. Hear my
crampy.
question.
I might need help.
You want a demon to come suck your?
No.
But here's
Oh.
the thing: the demon was putting his penis inside her mouth.
Yeah, but
It
we know
wasn't-
that's a lie because they don't even. Demons don't have bodies. It's just an actual person.
All right, so we're concluding it's
I
a
think
lie.
it's an actual person.
Oh,
It's a lie. Yeah, it's
I-
Matt,
I
it's a lie,
guess.
right?
It's a lie.
So I think
Matt,
she.
you see, Matt's not.
I'm
Matt's
gonna
not
get
on
the scientist to
Matt wants the scientist in the
You know
finger.
what, Matt? You be the scientist.
No, I
and
know.
you take
Look,
something
I'm not,
to do.
I'm not
and
the
you
scientist,
say, okay,
but
yeah,
I
I
would
think
like
that's a
for the
demon.
scientist to
Uh-huh.
Like, we're not
test.
going to do that.
No, all right.
Test what was
let's,
in her.
Let's go down that avenue with Matt. So if you're saying the scientist, right? So you're also
Yes.
saying that there's a possibility that it might be a little true. That there's some truth to it, because you.
Well, it depends
Are you
on what the results show.
No, meaning like this her.
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
what I'm saying. Like, if she spit out something that was like really sperm, and it was a demon, then that just like opens up a whole new.
So you've seen this happen before.
this is-
then.
this
I'm
is
not
more
saying
like-
I've seen it happen
Yeah.
before. All I'm saying is that I think that it would be great if a scientist came and like studied what came out of her mouth.
If you want to
I
take,
think it was spit, man.
I think it was like.
If-
I
It looked like saliva to me.
spit, but they're saying it's an
So,
oral sex
All
demon.
right, nah, you know what? Then let's go there, yo. Like, you really think something like these things really happen? Like these sexual things happen to people with demons?
I mean, I got something to say about that
Yeah.
because if that was we're doing what ifs, what if that was the case, that actually, if you really think about it in a bit of a around the block kind of way, it could possibly lead to people understanding that there is a spiritual realm, which would lead people to more look
Give
towards
them a
Christ.
little bit.
Oh, which would lead people to look more towards Christ. If you really think about it like that, there's a possibility in that. Or it could just be everybody freaks out.
I think she's a freak. I think she's just horny. She was embarrassed.
I think she's a victim.
She was embarrassed about her sexuality, right? And she's in church service, and you know what church does to you. Your emotions gets all riled up and stuff like that, and you think that there's something happening, and it's really not. And the musicians are playing and stuff like that, and you're getting real happy. We all been there, right? You get real happy. You're horny. You're afraid that the pastor's going to prophesy and tell your secret.
Yeah.
Right? So you own up to the secret before he tells it.
Or
And
you
say,
blame it on
and you blame it on the demon, and you do not take any responsibility for your sexual conduct. Why can't you just admit you like having sex and I like sucking dick?
Well, let's look at it like this.
That's really what it is, and you know what I'm saying? Like, because the thing is, maybe that's the real issue. If this is true, maybe the real issue is if it's even an issue in her mind that I enjoy sex.
Well, here's the question: does she consider it a burden, or does she consider it?
Well, according to this, it's a burden. Yeah, according to
Okay, so let's look at it from this standpoint. What would entice her to do that?
do what?
what?
To go out, obviously she likes sex, and obviously she likes oral sex.
Yeah,
What would entice her to do that? Obviously, she's doing the thing.
her nature.
It's a cultural
Her
thing.
nature,
nature.
but the thing is, okay, we study in the Bible that there is such a thing as temptation. But who is tempting you to do it? It's obviously the person is doing it, but what's tempting the person to do it?
Please explain, because that's a tricky thing. The reason why I say that is it's your nature to procreate. When you look at another species,
Right.
whether male species, women species, it's in your nature to be attracted to that species and want to have sex and procreate, right?
Right, but-
so is that necessarily a demon driving that, or your
But here's the
God-given
thing:
nature?
there
James
are
4,
things
that's you.
that are perverted. Because like we know what adultery is. Obviously, it's something that's perverted. But the thing is, who perverted it?
That's our own nature. That's James
Well,
4.
all right.
That's James 4.
Suppose I don't understand what you're saying in context of the Bible. Tell me a different way.
Okay, obviously there are forces that will pervert.
So when you say
Things that
pervert,
are-
what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, well, how does
Perverting
how
things
is sex,
like,
how does
okay,
sex become
sex.
perverted?
Sex becomes perverted when you're okay. It's meant to be between husband, wife, but it becomes perverted when it happens before marriage,
Okay.
according to the Bible.
Yep.
Now, what does entice a person to do that? Who's perverting sex? Because sex is something that's supposed to be. This is something that's meant for humans to do
Right.
under the right context.
Well, so what is the right context?
The right context, like we said, husband, wife, they get together, being fruitful, multiplying. You know, this is the sort of the blueprint for sex. But the thing is, obviously, if we go into Genesis chapter 3, we know the story about the serpent. What does he do? He twists the truth and then entices the woman. So if we believe, and I think we all agree that we believe that.
I have issues with that, but okay.
You have
Okay.
issues with
I have
that,
a
but
little
the thing
issues-
is,
I have a bit of issues with that.
this is what it,
Yeah.
if this is what we believe, then we got to believe that there are spirits that's attached to certain sexual behavior.
No.
If they're gonna pervert it, then there's got to be
Well,
a
no,
spirit
we
behind it.
pervert
So
it. We
we're
perverted
saying that
ourselves.
are we using the word perversion as with outside of the context of marriage? Is that what we're saying? Like how are we defining perversion?
I mean, perversion is anything you do outside of the guidelines of God.
What is that? Like, for example, guys, like, look, I don't know anything about God, yo.
Okay.
What is it that makes it perverted? What if I like that? What if I like to do it? What if I like to have sex?
Well, there's a lot of things you like to do. It don't make it.
I know, but what I'm saying is, what if, like, like, why is it that there's this thing about, like, oh, you should feel so terrible about something that you naturally feel that you like to do, right?
Well,
So
Here's the question. I mean, you're not demanded to feel a level of guilt if you don't have the Holy Spirit within you.
Okay, what is that?
Oh, we're going.
Yeah, no, break it down. No, you
Okay.
got to break it down all the way. Like, because what happens is this: like, we can get lost into this, like, what
Super spiritual.
the super spiritual stuff.
Yeah. We can-
but I don't get it. Like, break it down to me a little bit more as far as that. Like, how does that work?
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, to be as direct as possible, there is a God who claims ownership over everything walking, breathing in the universe. So,
Okay.
He came up with a law, and part of that law is, in order to have sex, you have to be in a marital relationship between a man and a woman. That's just
Why?
how that works.
Let me ask you that.
Because he said so.
Because he said so.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so all right, cool. So all right, so let's go back to what you said in Genesis 3, right? Mm-hmm. When it talked about there's two people on earth, right? You're given a demand to procreate, right? Okay. Under the guidelines that we have now, we know that a woman can be pregnant for only 9 months at a time. So you mean them two? Like, how in the world did she birthing out that many babies, bro? Like, was she the only one, or was he having sex with multiple women to make that happen?
No, she could be the only one.
How?
I had my wife and I had four children in 5.5 years.
Okay, so
4.
let me break it down in simple context, right? Let me
He lived to 900.
So you have your wife. All right, so check this, right? So a woman is totally satisfied with just having babies all her life, yo. You don't think at some point she's gonna be like, "Well, babe, I'm tired."
There's certain
Like,
people that like kids.
every. Yo,
Well, if you're living to be that old, you kind of
It depends
pretty
on
strong in some certain areas,
It's.
man.
I mean, that's when you're the only
Matt.
humans on Earth. It's more of a function or purpose rather than
Yeah.
Yo,
satisfaction.
anybody would get tired. Yo, imagine popping like 90 babies or whatever. How many millions of babies out
No.
there?
Yo.
Out one woman,
I gave her a break in 2010.
huh?
I gave her a break in 2010.
Okay, all
I
right.
mean, you
All
gotta
right,
think
let's-
humans have devolved from
Okay,
that time.
all right, let's
I mean,
go.
her uterus is like strong,
Super.
man. Yeah, like there's no way.
So she has a strong uterus.
She has to
have all these
has to
babies.
have one. Yeah.
And she lived to
Yeah.
be like 900. So, yeah, you're going to have that many kids in that amount of time. You're going to have a lot.
So one woman birthed the entire world.
Not
Well, I'm
Not
sure
the
her
entire
kids are
world.
kids.
Yeah.
are kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that. But
yeah, birth probably are somewhere upwards of 500 kids, probably, and
Yeah.
probably
In 900 years, you can have quite a few kids if you just keep going. I mean, they didn't
every
have,
other year having a kid.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't have the pull-out method back then.
Yeah.
what? All right.
He
So
didn't
all
have
right,
YouTube
cool. So
videos.
we're back to this.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a really that's
Yeah,
intense
hey,
because
yeah.
like just on a practical term like level, I don't imagine any women being like that, like not getting tired. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Back then,
well, no, and that I guess
I mean, Eve.
Because
Eve,
like, what are we calling marriage? Like, is it marriage the fact that I have sex with her now I'm married to her? Is that what that is, or what are we calling that? Like within the context of marriage, was Adam and Eve married by a priest?
Well, here's what marriage was originally in accordance to the Word of God. Marriage was a covenant under God with you and your significant other, be it a woman to her husband or husband to his wife. So that's pretty much all that constitutes a marriage. What America and the rest of the world has done is they've
So the
made
verbal proclamation between the man and the woman before God. Is that what you're saying?
if it's earnest before God, then yes.
Okay. How do we determine what's earnest?
You know your heart.
Huh? Okay, if I'm sincere in my heart. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I could get with that.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, but it doesn't change even if your heart does. So.
I mean, Adam and Eve had the best priest to put them together. I mean, they had God put them together. Like they probably had the best marriage service ever. You know.
Didn't seem very.
He also
right?
kicked them
Here
out of
she
their
is.
condo.
That's all that happened. Here she is.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then he sang.
Yeah.
Sorry. You gonna stop? Yeah. Don't. You're not supposed to make that. Don't do that ever again. You're not gonna. You're not gonna look at me and be like, "No, we're not gonna do it. We're not doing that."
Complaining that your voice is
Yeah. All right.
Put it on.
All
Put
right.
it on the mic. Put it
All
on
right.
the mic.
Send me a text.
Put your mouth on the mic, man.
Is that good? How about 2 hands?
Look,
2 hands
just-
like this.
Just put the video on. Just put the video on and let Dwayne
the
see
video
it.
on.
Be like, Dwayne. You got it. Dwayne.
2 hands. I don't want the mic to fall though, because I've been having issues.
Yo, where do we leave off?
And he's got 2 hands. Oh,
2 hands on the mic.
You're asking about marriage, but where do we go from there?
I'm Jill Scott.
Yo,
Oh,
all right.
marriage.
So you were saying marriage is the verbal proclamation, right?
Yeah.
It's not the sexual,
Well,
covenant or like
The consummation.
Well, no, it's not. No,
consummation
it's
of
no.
the-
That's
of the-
that's a result of it. That's not the whole of it. It's basically I've promised to love a woman for the rest of my life, and sometimes during that lifespan, you don't feel like loving them as much. But even though you don't feel like it, that's still your wife. So I can't say, well, I don't love you today, so I'm gonna go and catch somebody else. Doesn't work that way.
So you guys believe that they were just one couple, and they spend their life making kids.
well, they didn't have a baseline to compare it to, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had
spend
no
their
one to
life-
compare it
They
to,
spend
yeah.
their life making kids. Okay, that's fine. I get with that. They spend their life making kids, and
Then
then
they sinned.
and then here we are.
Yeah.
No, wait. Did they have kids before or after sin?
No.
Dead after.
That after.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
After
That'd be a
the
very
fall.
interesting world if there were perfect humans and imperfect humans at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be quite something, but no.
So we were back with this lady, right? Because we were just saying, like, how come she just can't say that she enjoys having sex? And Matt, you had said that it was something that was driving her, right? And I was like, well, where's the line? Because where's the line between what's natural and what's actually driving you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are influences. You can't. There are certain things that will influence you to do things. It's not gonna make you do things, but if you open yourself up to it, yeah, you open the door. This is why they in the Bible it says resist the devil, and he'll flee. You can't give these things open doors because once they go in, they're gonna have their way.
So who's they?
We're talking about demons. And that's the thing. Like once you open yourself up to it, they're not. Jesus explains it in when he's talking about when a demon is casted out of a person. What does it do? It goes out and it looks for. It takes what is it? 7? What's the number? 10 other spirits.
It brings
And
back.
And it comes back. But the thing is, it's gonna come
back.
back to a place that if you're not clean. See, that's the thing. Like with deliverance, there has to be healing that has to take place after deliverance. Let's say if this thing is real, she's got to clean up her life. Like you gotta stop. You gotta stop messing around. Whatever she's doing. If, like I said, if we're playing the what ifs, if it's real, she's got to clean up her life.
I think
Because the oral sex demon is gonna come back.
I think
And this thing is gonna.
Yo,
I
just
think
the
we
fact
gotta
that you're
stop-
saying that, yo, it just gives me the tickles.
I think
man.
we gotta stop
Like,
blaming-
yo, it's bullshit, man. It really is.
But-
we gotta stop blaming demons for everything, man. It's not demons' fault.
blaming demons for
Demons' fault.
everything. The thing is,
It's my
the person is the person's fault.
Yeah, I'm
Because
freaky
you
deaky.
open the door. Your mouth is a gate, no pun intended, but your mouth is a gate. Your eyes are a gate. Your ears are a gate. You keep opening yourself up to this thing.
So
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
So then if in fact let's keep going, let's keep going on that
Let's
rabbit
go.
hole. Let's keep going.
No
down.
pun intended. Let's
So
go deep.
let's go deeper, right? If in fact this demon is terrorizing her, right?
Yes.
What would be the point? What's the point? Like, what's the end goal? I'm gonna terrorize you. I'm gonna have you suck dick to death. Is that what it is? I don't understand. Like, what's the end goal? What's the end goal of the
Yo, I
demon?
just had like a bunch of jokes in my head. Like,
Say them.
I'm
thinking
saying,
like,
save
what's
the
the
end goal. Like, it has
what
to
if she
be,
has like
there
a-
has to be an end goal, man. What's
like
the
what
end
if, what
goal?
if she has like an open casket? She's like,
That was
Yo,
a very dark joke,
dude.
Matt.
That was good.
That was dark. That was good. I saw what you
this
did
is
there.
uninvited,
That was good.
man.
That was good.
Yo,
Is everybody
yeah.
okay back
No,
there?
no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
Everybody
This-
good? Okay, good.
like
This is-
how do you speak at a eulogy? Like how do you give a eulogy for?
Well, speaking,
Service, like-
well, you know what, you know, funerals are the places where people lie the most. I'm gonna leave that right there. We'll touch
Yeah,
that
that's
back.
a whole nother subject. but these things, like I said, they come to steal, kill, and destroy. If you open up yourself to do it, it will do it.
So, all right, what would be the end goal? Like, if a demon comes, I'm going to have you suck my dick. I'm the demon, right?
You can't look me in the eyes while you say that.
Yeah, that's totally. You totally broke a rule.
Sorry.
Don't
All right,
ever
let
do
me
that.
look down. Let me
You
look
and
down.
Sean on some different stuff today, man.
I'm going to have you. Let me look down. I'm going to have you. This demon. Here comes the demon. Let me play it all out. The demon comes. I'm going to have you suck my dick. All right, and I'm coming every night, and you can do nothing about it. What's my end goal?
To ruin your life.
You don't.
Okay.
I mean, to make you feel that you have no power over your own self, or
Right.
your own mind or body.
Okay.
Like, I control you.
I mean,
you know?
even in the case of who's to say, we talked about the possibility of if the deacon or whoever this guy is
I think it
was the one that was manipulating
this is
her,
my own opinion.
she could also place her as a victim because he's taking advantage of not necessarily her promiscuity, but he's taking advantage of the fact that she feels inclined to make herself subject to a man in that way. There's also that. I mean, there's that possibility as
Yeah,
well.
it's possible, but
Or maybe she
go
just has to
ahead.
take personal responsibility and be like, you know what? I'm just freaky. I need some help.
But okay,
Yeah,
Why
I-
would she need help if she's freaky though? Is freaky a bad thing, guys?
Yeah, she's
Why?
usually under the wrong context. That's
yeah.
under the
Yep.
wrong context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could be freak, and this is where the sucking dick demon is okay. If you married, you got the suck dick demon. You go with God. You go and do that.
Someone that
It should
doesn't
not be
mix.
two sentences.
I know it shouldn't be, but it
That's
felt
a-
good when I said it.
that's an
But I'm
oxymoron.
saying no. I'm saying, but is it though? Like if your wife and y'all use some stuff behind closed doors that nobody knows about, as long as you don't have any animals or crazy stuff. But you enjoy each other. That's fine. That's okay. That's when I say it's okay. But in this particular situation, she should never do that. She's using it wrongly.
she's using her.
Or
Yeah.
being used wrongly. But in this particular case, because the verse that I was trying to bring up was James 1:14, where it says, if we should never say God is causing me to sin. Each person that's enticed by their own desire, they give into that desire, and then that's where sin comes up.
Okay.
So it's really, if you do some certain like things like that, it's never the devil made me do it. It's just I made myself do it.
Right,
And
do
we
it.
have a sin nature.
You know what I realized
can't,
too, man? Demons are very sexist. I've never heard a man said, get the demon out because I have a problem eating girls out.
That's because we like
no,
those
you ever see that? Like, have you ever seen a demon
Right, Dave?
go inside a man and says, I have a problem eating a girl out?
That
It's always the girl that is getting like this type of like embarrassment.
I think
could
it's
say,
bad
right?
enough that I saw that. I don't want to see a guy with a
Matt, think about it, yo. You never saw a guy, yo.
Yeah,
when
but I
when
wouldn't-
have a guy? Yo,
I
please
don't
tell me
wanna
and
see
show
it.
it to me, please.
I don't want to see it.
when what?
I'll look for it. I'll look for it. Bring
Yo,
it up.
have
Absolutely
you?
not.
No, but seriously, guys, yo, there's never a time where it's the opposite. It's the guy.
I
that have the
could-
problem.
I could answer that seriously. I think
All
I
right,
have an
answer it
idea.
seriously.
Just like how a lot of times, and specifically in Genesis, where they talk about the power struggle between man and woman.
Okay, when you say power struggle, like when did that happen? Like, man and,
After Adam and Eve sinned.
okay, you're talking about that part. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So after the sin, there was a power struggle. Or wait a minute, there's a power struggle before, right?
No,
No,
it was after.
it was after.
Your desire will be for the man, and he will rule over.
Well,
you.
that was a consequence
That is a consequence.
as a result
Yeah.
of her doing her own thing.
Well, they did
Right?
it together.
They did it together.
Yeah, man was
the
there.
judgment only came after they both.
So
ate
they
of the fruit.
ate the sin together.
Yeah.
So she didn't influence him into anything.
No, she. Well, I don't
She
know if it was
definitely-
influence, but
I mean,
he
this-
kind of wanted to do it. I'm not sure if it was influence or just him letting her eat the apple first and seeing if she died after eating it. And then it was like, all right, it's all right for me to eat it. I don't know how that worked.
You know
but,
what? Like, that's the only portion that when I read that actually, I thought it was a classic case of he took one for the team. I thought in my imagination, I thought it was the case of if we're gonna talk about what love is, I thought it was the case where he saw she ate it, and didn't want to leave her out of that, and then ate it himself, and just was like, look, if the ship's going down, I'm going down with you. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's like the classic case of what love would look like if a person like really, you know what I'm saying, is down for you like that. But anyways, that's.
I mean, we can't. I don't know if we
that's my
can use.
little opinion.
We can use
I'm
love.
not saying it's fact.
Okay, I don't know if we could use love on that one because our mission is to love God first.
Yeah, but like I mean, you're giving a woman to love. That was the point. The point is I'm giving.
Right,
a
but
woman
here's the mistake that Adam
Right?
made. Okay, Adam was supposed to be the one to take the lead
Okay.
on this whole situation. What happened was Eve gave Adam the fruit, and he submitted himself to Eve and took the fruit. And that's not Adam's position. His position was supposed to be that of to really cover his wife and cast the serpent out of the garden.
Matt's about to get a whole lot of hate
Can I
mail.
ask you something though?
Yep.
Can you really save anything that you don't become?
Can you?
Can you truly save anything that you don't become? Because how could you save it unless you had the experience that thing had?
That's a weird.
Where's
question.
your point of reference? Like, okay, let's go for it, right? The whole point of Jesus going down is the fact
Right.
that he became that. He could not save you unless he became that. So, can you truly save something unless you become like it?
Well, the thing is, it has to do with you have to look at the information that was given. Adam and Eve understood what was given. And obviously the experience wasn't there to die. They couldn't. Okay, I'll put it like this. The information was there. Do not eat of the tree. The
Of
day you
knowledge
eat
of
of
good
it,
and evil.
you'll surely die. Now, here comes the serpent with the enticing words trying to change the information. The thing is, once I can get you to see something else, I can tell you things that will entice you, change the information, change
So,
the story
Matt,
around, pervert the story
we
around.
just came to something, guys. So the tree wasn't actually a tree; it was information. Think about this, yo.
Well, yeah, fruit.
Think about
has-
this. When you talk about fruit,
Right,
it was
contains
fruit
the seeds
used
and information.
as a method of understanding, of trying to understand, right? I'm giving you this fruit, right? But actually, the whole point of it is information. I'm telling you, don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right?
Right.
That's information.
Right.
Like, you're not supposed to know this information before it's time, right?
Exactly.
Now that you know this information, now it opens you up to the whole world of stuff that you have no idea about, right?
'Cause here's
so the
the
whole
thing.
exchange was not really a fruit; it was information.
Right, because think about it. Look at what happens with Eve, with Adam and Eve. There's a if you look real closely, it says that they saw that the fruit was good and for food. But how come when they ate it, their eyes were open? But didn't they have eyes already? But then it says the eyes of them were open. So now what eyes are opening up? This is the eyes to
The spiritual
That-
world. That's
well,
it.
no, they was already spiritual.
Yeah.
The eyes to the natural world began to
Okay.
open up because now they started seeing themselves, I'm naked, and why would they cover up? This is why God says, who told you that you were naked? They didn't know. They didn't have that information until they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Man is really not supposed to handle this type of information, this good and evil information. That wasn't the whole plan God had intended for them to have.
It's such a tricky road, man. Because it's like, what's good? What's what's evil? If God created
Well, we
it.
know it's evil.
No, God created
okay,
it, right?
think
But
about
He
it.
created it too, though.
He did create evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he create you?
Yeah.
No.
There's a passage that says that
Isaiah,
both that I've
Yeah,
created
no,
it.
no, yeah, that.
Yeah, there's something in there that says He created it as well.
Yeah, it's,
So-
well, the word used there is actually calamity. They in the King
wasn't-
James it says evil. I'm talking about the actual word, which would be Hebrew, would be for calamity. But basically, when it comes to God or the way God defines things, we just have to understand that God, if we're going to believe who in God and who God is that God defines what good and evil is. So we don't really need to know what.
So we don't
good
have
and-
any idea of what
No,
it
we
really
have
is.
an idea, but we always go past the idea where God, like, I've forgotten which pastor he says, but I've told you, old man, what is good. So there is why is it good? That would be the question. That would be the question after that. Why is something good? Why is something evil? Because God says so. That's just basically how it works.
So you have no say.
When it comes to him, no.
Okay.
Who are you? Who are you?
I mean, the easiest answer to that is, wouldn't you trust the most intelligent being in the entire universe?
Yeah, but we don't. Come on, man. Let's
What
keep
is
it funky.
what does that mean though?
We don't.
What does that mean?
It's like why? It's like, okay, like the whole marriage thing. He's like, well, it's between a man and woman. That's the only person you're having sex with. Human being. Usually, everybody in this room at some point is going, why?
All right. So
It's
since
like, why?
since we're talking
It's
about
like, why? Why?
the context of marriage and he's getting punished, right? He's like, the context of marriage, it has to be within the right context, or it's perversion. Or is that what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you roll up on Solomon, right? Solomon got many wives and concubines, fellas. Explain that to me, because there is no scripture in the Bible where I saw God chastise Solomon for having so many women.
Yeah, but you still were having Solomon because of his
Yeah.
women.
It doesn't matter though. What I'm saying is,
No, that
no, you, actually, when I
His-
read that,
his
when I read
judgment
up on
came
that,
through
when I
his
read up on that
children.
joint, I heard what I read up. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. This is just I'm throwing it out there, but it wasn't in the fact that he was with many women. It was the fact that who he initially was changed. Like he was a different person now because of the interaction that he had with so many people, right? That whatever he was or how he was with God, per se, he wasn't the same person anymore. So then God took issue with that.
Well-
But I've never saw where God takes issue and says, you know what? You're supposed to be one woman, man. Like,
Well, that
what
came
are you
later.
doing? He's a king. And he gets all these privileges and we don't, and then he has the nerve to tell me in Ecclesiastics that all is vanity. Damn you! Like
Yeah,
you
I'm
finish
up.
having no
Ain't no fun if the homies can't
You
have
finish
none.
having all these women, and then now you're talking about all is vanity. What?
Nah, we was good until like 1 Corinthians.
Get out of here.
Like no, yeah, he had
Get
multiple.
outta here,
No,
bro.
we was
No,
good.
You finished enjoying all the pleasures of life.
Yes.
Right? And all the bosoms. You lay in bosoms, my friend. Right? And then you
Yeah.
tell me I can't enjoy it because all this vanity. Nigga, you pimp.
Steve Harvey syndrome.
You's a pimp. Yeah, you's a pimp. Like you trying to get it all for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody else to enjoy it. You don't like, dude, it doesn't make sense.
But you saw how
That's
much
my
hell
point.
he went through because of it. Well, his descendants. There was
See- His descendants. Oh, and David too. Come, don't let me start talking about David. Oh my God.
David
Okay,
was
go
just
ahead.
as bad. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
David was just as bad. I mean,
But you ever realize though he wasn't checked. Unless you
Nobody
show it
checked
to
him
me.
on it. Nobody's gonna check a king on it.
Him, yo. Nobody checked him on it. Why? So then if nobody checked him, okay. If God puts this law, then God doesn't check them on it. Then I'm gonna be like, well, then that's double standard, God. Like, you mean you're gonna check him when you want to check him? Like, you don't want
No,
You're
they'll-
gonna say when it's time to be with one person or
No,
not?
there are people
Like-
that have multiple wives, multiple concubines in the church today. Some of them some of their sins will be conspicuous, where we'll see them get messed up before it, or some of them will get it after. But we know Scripture says I'm only supposed to be with one, and also all the people in the Old Testament that had more than one wife always had problems.
But we all I'm not gonna take that, man. No.
Oh,
Because-
you want those problems?
No, it's not about that, bro. Like, look, we all.
How long you been married, bro?
If you live the human,
I can't afford the one I
if-
got.
No, if you live the human experience, you're gonna have problems. I'm not gonna
No,
say
it's different,
no.
bro. It's different
no,
type of
I'm not
problems,
gonna,
man.
no, bro. Because look, everybody has problems. We all gonna go through what we go through. You know what I'm saying? If you live the human experience, period. You can't say like, okay, because you did this, that's why you have these problems. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have problems, period.
why would you add more?
It's
That
not
just
that you're
sounds
trying to like. Okay,
self-destructive.
all right. So then
But we gotta look at
I'll ask you this question though.
Okay.
Who comes into a situation asking for problems? No one. I'm not gonna come in. You just get it.
You move
just
to
have problems.
all right.
Well, we gotta
no.
look at what
If
else
you move-
happened with Solomon though.
If you move
Okay.
2 women into your house, you asking for problems.
Not really.
But that's
man,
what-
'cause
that's what-
Africans have 5 women and 10 women. And the whole point of that was
Have
just
you
like,
done a poll?
The whole point of that was to raise the community. No. There was a point in time where that was a non-issue, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like no. There was a point in time in Africa that was a non-issue. The whole point of having 5 women is because one man can take care of 5 women, right? Don't get me wrong, because as a man, you have your responsibility. If you're gonna have these many women, you got to take care of them, right? Cool. I could take care of these 5 women. My whole point of having these 5 women is so that we can procreate and create a community. That was the intention of black culture. It wasn't wrong at that point. So what in the world is like? What are we saying that is so terrible now, man? Like we put this indictment on people.
All
Like
right, all right.
it's
well,
the
ain't
worst
no,
thing in the
look,
world.
Break
ain't,
the
look,
fourth
ain't
wall
no
for a
black
second.
woman gonna accept that.
I'ma break-
today
hold
in
on.
this
Okay,
Time out.
country.
fine.
I'ma break-
Maybe a black woman won't accept it.
I'ma
maybe
break-
an Indian woman might accept
I'ma
it.
break-
Maybe
I'ma-
maybe a Asian
Yo,
woman might
space.
accept it. I
I'm
don't
gonna break.
know. I'm
Hold
sorry.
on. I'm gonna break the 4th wall. No, this is good. It's good that we have women here. I'm gonna break the 4th wall. You ain't gotta say nothing. Hold up. Y'all ain't gotta say nothing. Just by a show of hands, who wants community penis?
It's not community penis. It's
No.
one-
You share a
it's
penis
one
with like
penis.
4 other women. Who wants to share the penis?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you.
I can't see you. Can you? Do you?
It's
Okay.
not about sharing penis. It's bigger than that. It's not. No pun intended. No pun intended. But look, it's about back then in that culture. It was about community, right? It's about like, look, I have these women. We have our little place, right? We're making kids. We're building a community. We're gonna go for it.
Do we need that many more new people though?
I'm just saying, but that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah. Does it does it really serve a function now though? If we're thinking about it practically,
It can. Actually, it probably will serve a better function now than ever, to be honest with you.
why do you say that?
Why? Because right now we have this big thing that's going around, this big shift that's going around, right? Where there's a lot of men that are homosexual. That are coming out, they're saying they're homosexual, right? Cool. So you're entitled to choose your lifestyle, fine, right? Then if that's the case, how do we procreate? Right? If all the world in a greater percentage starts to turn homosexual, right? The ones that are left that are married, right, that cannot tamper with anything else, what is left with all these ladies lying around, right, that wish to have a family, that cannot have a family, right? That they're struggling right now, they can't find anybody, right? And it's happening right now. We are at a place where as men we are outnumbered, right? There's more single women than there are single men.
Straight,
Right?
man. Yeah.
And right now it's even more imperative, right, that you would have a community that can set some type of change happening, right, in this world, right? In terms of building like an infrastructure to change something, right? So right now I would think that, man, you know what, it would probably benefit people to get together as opposed to do their own thing. Even if that means getting together that, you know, there's several of you. It's a possibility. I'm just saying.
You have to make sure that that's something that's, I guess, mutually understood. Most women I know don't want to share a guy with somebody. Like I know some that
of course,
will.
of course.
He's like, I just got me a half a minute. No, nobody says that. Like nobody wants the side chick holiday. Okay,
Yeah.
so
But like,
what side
But-
chick holiday? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and I'm saying, it's a cultural thing. But I'm saying most women I've spoken to, most of them, like almost all of them, will say they're not trying to really share a dude, but they'll do it if they have to, which is not really that's not really a good thing either. Like, they want somebody that's going to love them all the way. But
I think the conversation has to be had. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that here's what I can say. I can say that, all right, as far as a man is concerned, it like we can tend to be irresponsible with that. Let's say that was the case. Let's say a woman says, "Hey, look, I'm okay with being with you and there's multiple people, right,
Mm-hmm.
involved. I think that for us, it's very difficult to not be irresponsible with that. You understand what I'm saying? So I know that there can be issues with that, but
Because we can't,
You know,
we can't flip that
I'm
around.
not somebody that can also say that that's completely wrong.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
We can't flip that around either. Like, I'm not sharing my wife with anybody.
Yeah.
Like nobody. Like nobody. Like if I'm like, don't touch me. Nah, nobody.
I mean,
Ugh.
here's
Plastic gloves.
Here's one thing. I want to jump back real quick to the homosexual things. I believe statistically, homosexuality is still below 8%. I believe it's like 7 or 6%. So it doesn't really affect our numbers as much as you're
It's
trying
high.
to pose.
It's high, bro. Go ahead.
It's
really high.
it's high on the coasts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're
when
thinking
you get
about
to those middle
the middle,
areas.
other countries
That's
and
why Hillary
continents.
Clinton
It's-
lost. We thought, all of America. No, we didn't get to those red states in the middle. It's like, we got something for your ass.
Bro, there is a lot of people that is still scared to come out, my friend,
Well, yeah. of
and
course.
that is dabbing. That
But
is dabbing
if
on,
we're
on the low.
thinking, even if that number doubles, 14%, that's still not. I mean, that's a lot, but that's still not enough to really affect that much. And also, in regards to having multiple wives, just like how, I mean, I don't have kids yet, so you guys can correct me on this. I'll say over 3 kids. Maybe not shout you out too much.
No, I got 5, man. That's all right. We was getting down. Oral sex demon. We was getting down.
I feel like I don't know, but I feel like once you go over 3, you have a favorite. You have a favorite kid, and you don't have to nod.
No, I'm not gonna nod. I'm not gonna nod.
Once you go over 3, you have a favorite, and I think
I
that
see where
also
you're going
goes
with this.
with your wife
I see where you're going.
or wives.
So you think you can have a favorite, and then they could be
Oh, yeah.
jealousy.
Somebody's gonna get
There could be jealousy, and somebody can be
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah,
People-
absolutely.
all right. I mean, I understand the natural issues. That's the natural issues of relationships. You know what I'm saying?
But see, but
Somebody's-
that's why I want to go back to Solomon, because people look at, Solomon had all of this, but people forget what also happened to Solomon, which was a big downfall. Was he let in all of these women, but he also let in a lot of the gods that they were worshiping as well.
that was the indictment.
Now the thing is, we look at marriage as this is supposed to be the perfect union between the church and Christ, what it's supposed to represent. Obviously, if you have 1,000, if you have, 700,
No, he had
300.
3,000 concubines. Like,
it was 700 wives, 500 concubines.
yeah,
300.
more.
I thought
It was like 1,200 women in total.
yeah, it was a lot. He was
Okay,
sore.
this is not a good representation of what marriage is supposed to be. If we're looking at marriage to be, if we're mirroring our marriage to be that, now we can't have a culture like that today if we're under this new covenant, we have Jesus Christ, and we're looking forward to the bride, and then we have this, marriage in our lives is supposed to represent the body of Christ, us being the bride to Jesus. You can't have that with, a side chick.
I understand, but
Because
like,
we
why
know
gotta be-
the number one, thou shalt not have
here's the
any
thing,
other
though,
gods
Matt. Like
before
you
me.
see, this is the way I'm coming from, yo. Because like we have a lot of double standards going around. Right?
Well, this is what you got to do.
But-
And I don't mean to get political. You got to get prison reform and get all the men out of prison who don't belong there.
That's also.
Dude, I agree with that.
There's
We
a
can
lot of
we can
straight-
go
Very
there.
true. I
We
do
can
agree
go
with
there.
that,
We
yeah.
can go there. We can go there, right? But what I'm saying is, check how we talking, right? We're like, we can't do this, right? Because we can't be with one woman. We have to be one woman under the covenant, blah 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 blah, right? Notice that everything we talked about is about male dominance, right? It's the male. Like, when is it ever the women? When is it ever what they gotta say about this? You understand what I'm saying? It's always about like,
Anybody wanna say
like,
tea?
yeah, man, like, because we can't be with them. How about if they can't be with us? How about if they want to be with somebody else too? But it just ain't telling you that.
Well, that's just a toxic relationship.
I'm saying though,
Right.
there's a lot of women that go in silence and be like, "Look, I would rather be with him, or I actually want to be with him, and I have a strong appetite for him." And you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all like,
Right.
yeah,
You
you
ain't
know,
the macho.
yeah, we're gonna be with the women.
This is
Yo,
my
son,
world.
she could be saying the same thing, bro.
So
Like,
you got that right, honey.
she could be saying the same thing. Like, look,
I say
You're
that
not-
every time we see Michael B. Jordan on the movie theater. It's like, yeah, she's thinking of leaving. If Michael B. Jordan has an opening,
Yo,
then
right?
she
They
can
got
take it.
I'm sure they got emotions and things too. Like you know what I'm saying, like
Absolutely,
yo, they feel that stuff too.
Yeah.
True.
Same way you feel.
Yeah, and they no, I don't. That's not a surprise to me because she tells me.
Huh?
I just got finished watching Creed 2. You lucky you got a job.
His wife
Oh, yeah?
texted my wife about that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
yeah. My
Oh,
wife
yeah.
texted
Wow.
his wife.
Oh,
They in
whoa.
cahoots?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
And
shoot.
it's like, and they put the tongue wagging emoji and the
Oh, yeah.
eggplant. I'm like, come on, man.
She slept on the
It's
couch.
a group chat, so they
But
don't
you know,
even care.
But you know what? To be honest,
Like, I'm
with you,
in that chat.
Yo, to be honest with you, man,
There's an eggplant
I
demon.
could. No, but you know, oh, the eggplant's going around, right? Eggplant, you
They
see,
don't
man?
care. They don't care.
Look at this. Look at this. Eggplant. Eggplant. Look
Oh.
They don't care.
But
They
you
don't
know
care.
what though? You know what though? I would much rather her do that though.
Yeah,
I would much rather her-
Their wives can't go to Vegas together.
No,
you,
no,
you
I
guys
would-
gotta just kill that. Like, you can't-
No, they would go to Vegas, but they would take us with.
No, but
and-
I
that's
would.
okay.
I would
You
much
guys
rather
gotta
her
go.
be real with me like that though.
Right.
Seriously, like,
Yeah.
don't lie. If you see a handsome dude and you're looking at the dick print on the jeans, don't lie. You saw the dick print, you saw it, and you wondered.
Okay, you're
you
making me
wondered
uncomfortable, dog. Stop.
at it.
Don't
No,
know. Don't
no.
know. That's all right. I understand.
Yeah, you saw it.
No, dog. I
You
understand.
saw
No,
the
that's
dick.
all right.
No.
Understand.
Don't act like women don't see that stuff. Women see that stuff. Women see when the men wear jeans and see the dick print go proop, and the little curve.
No,
And the little
see,
curve and stuff
yeah,
like that.
too far.
Y'all see the dick print. You guys see it. No, but what I'm saying is though, like, yo, we do the same thing though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The point is,
Yeah.
you see the women, she had that spandex on, and boom, here comes the little peach, right? And you see that little peach, right? And don't act like you don't see the little peach. My thing is, I'm saying I would rather her tell me. I'd rather her be honest about it, right? Then I know where she's at. You
Well,
understand what I'm saying?
I feel
and,
like
and we can have an open discussions about our sexuality, and I think that's important. If we can have open discussion, I think that's when we could get somewhere.
Well, that
Like,
takes time.
don't hide that shit from me.
Well, that takes time. You're not gonna get that out the box. Women are usually much more open than men, and we don't like it. But usually that takes years of relationship to be able to get that trust. Because if I'm talking to somebody about, or I'm talking to my wife about something,
open?
or about it's not open. You want to open it? Yeah, you can open it. If I'm talking to my wife about some woman that I'm attracted to, if we've been married for 12 years. Because we've been married for 12 years, she knows that I'm solid. If we've been dating for 5 months and be like, hey,
Yeah,
girl,
that's a little bit
you
of
know
a
that girl, on Sabrina, Adventures of Sabrina. Her name is Tati Gabrielle. You know, I got a thing for her. And I Googled her too. I was like, I Googled her up and I was like, yo, I want to see what her real name is. I looked, she was 23 and I felt a way about it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm 38. I can't do that.
Man,
Like, no, she's legal, but there's certain, like, it's legal, but you get to a certain age where you be like, hey, Dwayne is dating a 23-year-old. You be like, ugh. Like the first time you found out
Dude.
Jay-Z and Beyonce were going together, just
my
like,
pops
I
and
get
my
it, but
mom-
ooh.
my pops and my mom is
Going out
17
with
years
grandpa.
apart.
What's going on?
Oh wow.
Dude, my mom, my pops,
Mm-hmm.
God bless his soul before he passed,
Mhm.
and my mom is 17 years apart.
17 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's perspective, guys.
Yeah, I know, but I'm getting
Like there's a time where people don't look at that as wrong.
yeah, but I'm getting up there though, cause I need my woman to know, like Sinbad said, I need my woman to know the signs of stroke. I'm getting up there. I'm 38. Once if I'm starting to get ill, then they want to do 23-year-old stuff too.
I'm sorry.
Like,
We're
okay,
13 years apart. My mom.
okay,
Yeah, sorry.
perfect example. Hate to bring your wife into it, but I'm gonna need to.
Yeah, that's fine.
We, my wife and I, we're with Chris and his wife quite a bit. We even go out sometimes. We were going to dinner. We had a nice dinner. My wife and I decided we pay for it. They apparently took offense to that, took that as a personal challenge. So it's like, hey, we got a bar right across the street.
Oh yeah.
So, we're gonna drink, have a good time. So we're drinking. I've already had drinks at the restaurant. So I'm like, I'm about 2-3 drinks in, so I'm only gonna have 1 or 2 and I'll be all right. So I have my 1 or 2 drinks, 3 drinks, 4 drinks. And then I'm like, listen, I can't do any more of this. And his wife comes up and is like, I got shots. So she comes.
Chris, have you told us?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. This is his wife.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I've got shots. That's exactly how she did it. So we're doing like shot. So we go home. I wake up the next morning, I'm no more good. I'm lucky I didn't have to go to work. I called them. He's like, I'm really worried about, like, when we got home, my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter, was laughing us to scorn because my wife was throwing up in the toilet. And I was like, I was on the bed. I was like, I've got to go help her. I've got to stay right where I am. So we go to sleep. We wake up around noon. I was like, yo, we should check on Chris and Sanjean because they drink just as much as we did. I called Chris and Sanjean. Sanjean is on the treadmill running.
What?
Chris is doing something else around the house. And we felt all of that 38. Chris is right now, you just had your 27th birthday, sir. Yeah. So he was 26.
Oh, yeah.
That is a large difference in drinking.
It is.
My wife and I are now tired at 9 p.m. When we go on a night in the town, we are back home by 10:30. So we can go to sleep.
Yeah.
There's a difference. You see, that's why you can't date somebody that's 23 because they want to do 23-year-old stuff, and you start to feel all that age. Try it. You try it. You're married, but I'm saying.
Let me tell you this though. Let's keep it funky though, right? Okay. If she 23, she probably fun as heck in bed though.
It's fun as heck until you have sciatica.
Well, all right, so here's my point. Exactly. I led you right up to it. I led you right up to it, right? So how come you can have that disposition towards when you're tired versus if it was sexual, you wouldn't be talking like that?
What are you talking about?
If she was 23 giving you that, you wouldn't be talking about how tired
I'm
you are.
I'm a one and done. You better get yours before I get mine, because if you don't get it, you're not getting it. I'm 38 years old, sir. We ain't trying to have sex for 45 minutes. Who trying to have sex for 45 minutes? Other than it's a race. Yeah.
A race
to the finish.
Only Chris. You probably. Yeah. You probably. Trying to have sex for longer than, 15. I'm not that guy. I have married sex. We don't even do it missionary. It's just on the side. Be like, all right. And then so when it's on the side, we can go right to sleep. That's how we do it. That's how it gets done. That's what happens. You just got married. You 2 years in now, sir?
About to be 3. Yeah.
Yeah, about to be 3?
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm 3. No, wait. 3 going on 4.
3 going on 4. Okay, he still does it eye to eye. Okay, how about you, sir?
I'm in.
You're in? How long? 8 years.
No, going on 10.
You don't going on 10. You don't even look her in the eye no more, right? You don't even look in the eye no more.
No, dude, it's not like that, bro.
No, I'm kidding. No, but I'm playing. All I'm saying is there's a difference between a 23-year-old and a 38. It's not wrong. It's not bad. It's just different. Mm-hmm. I'm tired, okay? Mm-hmm. I got to go to work in the morning, all right? We just got the kids to bed. Mm-hmm. Don't make too much noise. You might wake them up. You got kids knocking on your door. Daddy, I need some water. Come on, really? Seriously? Come on. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, kids are, wait till the kids go to bed. Right now, y'all are like washing machine, washing machine, kitchen table. You don't care that you eat there. So what?
Yo, nah, man. You know what? Yeah, that's true, but like, how she feel though?
What do you mean?
How she feel?
About
it's true for us. Like, yeah, it's 5 minutes. Yo, I get my nut before you get your nut. But how does she?
I'm not
feel?
That selfish. Just saying, it's for joke factor.
How she feel? How she feel when that other guy come around, and the other guy, got that little swag on him. You know what I'm saying?
You mean like?
And she out there giving that lady how that look that same look that lady gave. She out there giving that look on a sneak tip, and you don't see that shit, right? Because you're at home giving 5 minutes, and that dude looked like he could put in 45 minutes.
I don't know who you're talking about with the
what
5
you mean?
minutes.
You see, that's my point, y'all. Yo, we always so quick to be like, yeah, he me. And how you not figure that she be like, yo, she be looking at that homie like, yo, he could put in an hour. I know he can.
Nah, if you've been with a
So I'm
woman,
hitting the gym.
yeah.
No, I'm saying though, like, look, fair is fair, right?
Yeah.
Fair is fair. If you're gonna make this proclamation, you don't think for a second your girl is looking at that other dude like, damn.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I don't have an issue with looking.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts with looking.
We're all human. It's about how much you indulge that thought.
Okay. You all right. Let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
Let's play the if game.
Okay.
Right? You keep giving her that 5 minutes. Right?
That's
It
where
adds up.
Let me
her.
Oh my God, man! Matt.
Matt with the win.
I have no comeback for that. Oh my God. Okay, Matt. Okay, all right, Matt.
We know how to count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40,
I have no
45,
oh
50,
no. Oh no.
55,
No,
60,
but here's the
65,
beauty of it. My wife is 38 too.
Oh,
She's not
no.
trying to go all that long. Yeah. I mean, you should be good enough to be like, all right, I can knock it down 10. You know the bells and the whistles.
You know your wife. You know your wife.
Yeah, you knock it down 10. Ain't nobody trying to go 45 minutes.
Well, I'm saying
45 minutes?
Oh, I'm saying, yeah, we're saying that, right? We're saying that, but do we really know? Has she told you that though?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. No, Dwayne,
yeah.
not that
Oh, yeah.
way. No, Dwayne, wrong hole. No, Dwayne, stop. Yeah, hey. Very vocal. But hey, you're doing it wrong. Shut up. Stop it. Stop. Hey. Okay, let's try this again. See? Press circle. You got to press circle. Keep going.
That was
Yo,
from a
what the-
joke earlier today before the podcast started.
Okay, I'm saying, yo. I be,
Y'all have enough
I be,
to drink yet?
I
Anybody?
be,
Any more
I be
wine?
thinking about that, bro.
Well, yeah. What about you?
Huh?
What about you?
I be thinking about that. That's why, man. Look, nigga, I be like, I make sure you're good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, actually,
Nah.
truth be told, I have heard from certain women, there's certain guys that go too long. Like, they got to wrap it up. He's like, all right, it's too long. Stop. See? She knows. See? That's why she's laughing. That's why she's laughing. She knows. He's like, yeah. She's like, too long. Okay, calm down. Let's kind of wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too long. I got stuff to do. Got to fold these clothes.
I don't know, bro. I know that, hey, as guys, sometimes we it's natural for us to be like, yeah, man, like, this is what we'll do. But like, I'm curious to hear what the woman will say.
I mean, Dwayne,
I think that's why the woman is silent, because we can't handle it. That's why.
No, I'll tell you right now.
handle-
I'll tell you right now. I'm a punk. I'm a punk
Oh,
ass.
yeah,
yo.
yeah, you know-
There's no way she could tell me all that stuff. My
Yeah.
ego's too shot. I have too strong of an ego.
Your
Really?
heart, your heart
But
can't handle it.
but initially I have too strong of an ego. But eventually I'll respect that.
No, there's certain questions you don't ask a woman and expect to be all right after that.
I would ask
You
her.
you never compare sex partners with a woman. How many of you had?
I would
No,
ask her.
never.
It's
true.
You never ask.
You don't
never
do,
ask
you
her.
don't do that.
You gotta know how to handle it.
I don't know.
Look, the Bible says in all you're getting,
Get understanding.
so you just gotta understand.
I feel like if you're
if she's
afraid
gonna
of,
give it to you, you better be understanding.
I feel like if you're afraid of the worst possible outcome, then just don't ask the question.
Just don't ask a question.
Yeah.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
What's the worst possible outcome though?
Well, I'm talking about. I'm giving an
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
that's the example.
so
Don't
like
don't.
if she said like, I don't know, 38
No,
people.
and you got like 4.
Yeah.
The only reason why I
Yeah.
have some type of stipulation with that is because, man, I would much rather her just tell me the truth, man. Like,
That's dependent on the
I'm
person.
different.
yeah.
I'm a little different in that way, right? Or maybe I'm a little freaky.
Yeah, I
That's
don't need.
different.
I don't
Do
need
you
to know.
consider it a challenge? Is that it?
No, I consider it like I know you as a person outside of you pretending to be this way, to not trying to hurt my feelings, right? Because then I could see you as a person. I could be like, yo, she has real feelings. She gets horny. She sees this dude and she actually wants to have sex with this dude. It's natural that she has these feelings that happen. I'm not saying that she goes acting or whatever the case it may be, but like at least she can share like, yo, sometimes I have these emotions. Like I have these things run up in me. Then I could feel like, yo, then yeah, we can talk about that. We're getting somewhere.
Okay.
Well, nah, yeah, but
I
they
agree.
seem
We
they,
can- we can
no.
open
They
up.
said nah, you
can see
can't.
that.
They'll embellish. They don't even embellish on the
They
story.
don't-
They
they
tell you the
don't-
real
look,
story, but
if
you don't
you-
like the real story. They
If
be
you
like,
if you're
"I was
doing
at-"
look,
she knows.
If
"I was
you're
at
doing
Vegas."
here's my point. Here's my point. If you're doing your thing, right? If you're doing your thing, and if you're doing your thing to the best of your ability, right? If you're doing your thing, meaning like this, if you're not selfish with sex,
Of course, yeah.
if you're not selfish, if you're really not, if here's the whole sincere thing that you're talking about, right? If you're really not selfish with sex, I don't think, unless she has a thing where she's promiscuous or she just loves to have sex with multiple
Which-
partners,
which
that's-
is a
that's whole-
possibility for
That's a
somebody,
possibility.
yeah.
That's a different subject, right? But if you're sincere with like saying like, yo, I'm not selfish with my sexual activity towards you, I don't think a woman's gonna like, dip on you like that. I might be wrong,
Well, no, that's. I mean,
but I don't think unless it's the other thing.
you guys.
I think if you don't always make it about you,
Well, yeah, of course.
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
That's
Like-
that's just knowing that you're valued.
yeah. You
right,
got-
Yeah.
right. So I don't think that. So so what do I have to worry about if she tells me that, hey, I have these emotions too, outside of you?
Then there's nothing to worry about.
No,
You
no,
just
we're
have
not
to-
talking
you have
about-
to trust her integrity.
Yeah, we're not talking about emotions because you do have to speak about that, especially when you're in a relationship with someone. I'm just saying you may not want to compare body count with somebody. I'm just saying you don't ask that question. I don't ask that.
I mean, yeah, it's
I
different
don't
strokes
ask
for different
yeah,
folks. Yeah,
yeah, I don't ask that because my wife, she likes to give me crap about it. It's like we're friends. We've been friends forever. I should be able to tell you about this. No, you can't tell me about this. I don't want to know because it's like I was out in Vegas and it was a party and there was like 15 guys there and it was like go for it. It was like nah, I don't want that.
Yo, isn't it funny though, right? Like, isn't it funny? But if it's us telling it, right, it's a different case. Though.
No, I don't tell her.
But like, I think we have like really. I think we're a little bit softer than women in that case, yo. I think they're a little bit stronger than us in that case
Oh yeah,
because
they
we can't take it.
they've been
It's our-
practicing.
it's our
Look,
ego.
women have been practicing emotions for years. They're used to it.
Well, no, that's the male
This is
ego.
why, like, guys,
Yeah.
we can't take rejection.
I mean, yeah,
No, it's the male ego.
yeah, we're
It's the
super
male ego.
competitive. We want to be the
Yeah.
best.
You want to piss on your territory. You
Women
wanna
are
say, "That's
used to
mine."
the emotional roller coaster.
no.
They used to being up. They used to being
That's
down
not
one
you,
day, up
anybody.
next. We can't handle that.
Wait, can we
don't
revisit
know
that?
how
What'd you
to
say
deal
about
with that.
pissing on your territory?
No, as men, you want to piss on your territory. You
You're going to have a lot of
"This is
angry
mine,
emails.
Nobody touch it. That's what you want to do.
Well, I'm not trying to pee on
I
a
know.
girl.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't tried that yet.
Maybe
Well-
that's why R. Kelly was
What is it,
successful in
Sean?
so
I said
many
peeing on a
years.
girl.
Wait a minute. We're in R. Kelly now. You said maybe R. Kelly was successful,
Yeah, maybe that's why
huh?
Wait.
he was able to reign on his territory.
Yo, he took that literally.
He
though.
took it literally.
He
yo.
literally
He
went
said,
to
"You're
piss.
mine." Wow.
Yo, this R.
Never
Kelly
thought about it
situation is
like
crazy.
that.
That's
though,
right. Pull out the leather sheets.
Yeah.
Have your IDs at the door. You're not going to need those.
Y'all think he's guilty though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
man.
guilty.
How you know that?
He's guilty.
How you know that though? How
I
do
think,
you know that?
I think the parents are just as guilty as him, though. But yeah,
Yo, but all right, yo, dude, real talk, man. Real talk. You're men, right?
Uh-huh.
You mean to tell me you heard stories about this dude, right, loving on 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds, right? And you're sending your daughter. Would you send your daughter?
No?
no, that's why I said the parents are
That's what I'm
completely
saying, though. Like,
just as
how
guilty
could
as
you
him.
not think that it's about money, yo?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely about money.
Like, I'm more pissed at the parents than
no
I
pun
am
intended. There's a lot of no pun intended.
Then
You-
I
you
am
pissed at the.
Yeah, exactly.
You couldn't leave it alone.
Maybe they need to be pissed on. You know what I'm saying?
man.
But yo, dude, who sends your kids out if you know that he had a history of that though?
You don't.
No, I mean,
Unless it's money.
you still hold R. Kelly
Right.
accountable for all the piss. You hold him accountable for it. But I'm like, yo, you sending like again,
Yo,
who thought R. Kelly was a good babysitter? Be like, hey,
Right.
be like, hey, Aura.
Yo,
My daughter could sing, so I thought I would send her to your house and you can get her a record deal.
you didn't hear his interview?
Yeah, I heard.
It was like, yeah,
you trying to kill me?
Who's
Kill me.
like, what do you define like what's young to you? He was like, it depends. What do you define young?
Yo, how do you
This
define
nigga,
young?
I said, this nigga wild, yo. I said, this boy wild, yo. He's talking about what do you define as young? What do you mean, dog? Like, yo, she 12, she young. What are you talking about?
All right. Oh, well, okay, but here's the big secret though, because we know like you got entertainers, Hollywood in general. You know, having sex with minors is a major thing. Some of them fly out to places to have sex with minors,
Which is
so
crazy. Yeah,
so we can't look at the way that the media is posting this and be like, oh, now all of a sudden it's a moral issue. It's not a moral issue for them. It's just R. Kelly's like a low hanging fruit. But if you actually pull the sheet off of everybody that's saying, oh yeah, we're having sex with minors, you're not gonna get any movies in theaters, no music. It's like it's disgusting. But
a
it's
culture,
it's the culture. It's the culture in which they live.
true, yeah.
So it's not So whenever somebody on CNN says, oh, we are just upset at R. Kelly for doing all this, it's like, no, you're not, because it's your producer's doing that. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
you
think it's a-
doing?
I think
Doesn't
it's
make
a-
it right. But I'm
I
just
think
saying,
it's a sack of
it's just what it is.
like my coach used to say, I think it's a sack of horse shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, man, like all you executives are preying on these little girls, man.
Yeah.
And
Some
trying
boys
to,
too.
Now
boys too.
it's Kells. Now it's Kells, and you have a person to target and point the finger on, and you know what I'm saying, where you're flying out to places to go do that.
Yeah, and again,
You know what I'm saying?
You should. I mean, lock them up, if because I know. Come on, it's been 20 years. I mean, anytime a rumor's been going around for 20 years, and it's probably true. I mean, like, oh, come on, I was 14, 15 when I first heard this. I'm 38. It's been going on for that long.
Okay, but check it, right? There's some history that's recorded, right? There was older men that would marry young women, and it was okay with both parental consent. Is that wrong?
I think it's a little creepy, but I guess
It
if
happened
we're talking
because
about
as long as
legally,
they
it's
was,
not wrong.
As long as they were able to have kids, the girls, they deemed that it was okay.
Yeah. They said it was. I don't think it's nice. I don't think it's a good thing to do. I feel a little creepy, a little slimy, co-signing my daughter to
I get
to
it.
marry a 40-year-old dude.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, also you gotta remember, you're really supposed to marry somebody who is intellectually your match. How can a kid 40 years younger than you be your intellectual?
Yeah,
match?
there's no intellectual anything. It's just purely for sex. At that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is a problem, obviously. Your problem.
If
whoever's
I'm 50 and I'm
problem that
getting
is.
married, I need to marry someone around that age. Like I want somebody with cigarette cough. Like,
Yeah.
when they laugh, it's
Do me, baby.
I want to sound like Wheezy from
Matt, you sound like you've been watching.
George, I need her to be
Matt,
an old bro.
wait, you heard Matt said, "Do me, baby."
We heard.
That sounds like an old porn. Somebody been watching porn. Somebody been watching porn, yo. That sound like
that was,
somebody
Look
been
right
yo.
there.
That sound like an 80s porn, yo. I
That
haven't
was-
heard that vernacular since like
do me.
If you can't
yeah,
remember,
like since I watched. Yeah.
if
that-
you can't
the last
remember
time
the
I
original
remember-
Voltron, you can't ride this ride, baby. I'm sorry.
True.
yo,
And she's like, "What's Voltron?" See, we can't do this. We can't do this.
Exactly.
We can't do this. You can't do it.
You don't know about the lions and the gladiators? Nope.
Nope.
I had a problem with the whole. You know what I don't like about this whole thing. You kind of touched on it a little bit. The whole like people trying to like take out the music, like the whole when that whole Michael Jackson thing went
oh,
down.
please, man.
And then it's
Go
like
ahead.
I remember reading reports. I mean, okay, some of that stuff sounded pretty bad, but you can't get rid of Michael Jackson like that.
Also, what's the purpose behind that? If we want to really resurrect dead people's dirty laundry, we can go back as far as George Washington,
Exactly.
Thank
who
you.
owned slaves and also raped his female slaves.
Right, Thomas Jefferson. So let's take him off the nickel.
Right.
I mean, this guy raped a young black lady.
Yeah.
What about, we talk about Michael Jackson, get rid of Andrew Jackson, who signed the Indian Removal Act.
He was just crazy.
Yeah, like,
just crazy.
let's if we're going to do this and if we're going to cancel everyone's
I think
body of work.
it's planned. I think it's
Yeah,
planned. I
because
think
like
it's-
you can't the thing is you can't undo Michael Jackson. Like you
Yeah.
can't unsee that. And
Yeah.
sorry for the kids, they can't unsee it either. But
I think
allegedly they
Allegedly.
can't unsee
to be
it.
to be
you know.
to be if I may throw this out there, I think it's planned because anything that, like, for example, if we talk about, like, if you follow the money, you'll see the truth, right? You'll find the truth, right? But I also think that one factor in there that we don't consider sometimes is influence, right? Even more than money. Like,
Yeah.
if a person have that much influence over
Yeah.
a body, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, yo, I can't be a billionaire with all this money, and money's supposed to be what drives everything, right? But if you come on the scene, like, for example, you ever met somebody, you ever walked in a room and you see this person, well, if you ever been around this person that has a lot of money and stuff like that, right? Then you walk in a room with a person that doesn't have that much money, right? But then you see their swag and something about them is just a lot different. People gravitate to them a lot more. That's dangerous to a person with money. Because a person with money says, yo, I've accumulated all this money and I could move anything at a drop of a dime. But yet when this young dude come in here, yo, he got more swag. He got more like, there's something about him that just drags people, drags people to him, right? So I think that one factor is influence. Influence is a real bigger issue for people with money, right? Because you have Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is dead, right? Michael Jackson had money, and all his money is dispersed wherever.
Right.
The problem is the dude had a lot of influence. Prince had a lot of influence.
Right.
influence.
Cosby got a lot of influence, right? So what happens is when the money stops, the influence keep going,
Yeah.
right? Now I'm a billionaire. I take issue with that. Like if I contribute to making policies move, I'm gonna take issues with that, right? So therefore, whoever is supposed to come out to terrorize you and you know, kill your character, then I'm all for
They're
it.
gonna do it.
I'll even give you a little extra.
But that's what I'm saying. Like with Michael Jackson, you know, for you to eliminate his body of work, that means you have to live that lie till the world ends. Because then it's like you talk about influence. Well, how are you gonna explain Justin Timberlake? How are you gonna explain somebody like Beyonce? How are you gonna explain even certain songs that have been influenced by his sound? You know, for you to wipe out Michael Jackson, that means you have to lie about how this other artist came to be. So it's tough. You can't just get rid of him just like that.
I think it's planned. I think it's the fact that like, yo, he owned the Beatles catalog.
Yeah, that was a
he
big
was
thing.
doing a lot of stuff underneath, and cats are like, nah, dude, you ain't fitting to do that. You know,
Well,
so
I mean, in certain respects too, we also have to see that people are whole people. They're not just their music. They're not just you know, the things that they do. They're also the people that they are. So can Cosby come out with Fat Albert, the Cosby Show, give millions of dollars to HBCUs, damn near buy NBC, and still drug women? Yeah, he could do both. It's, you know, it's something that both could happen. The drugging women part is a horrible aspect. Should that take away from the things that he actually did? I would say no. But you take people as whole people. I don't think,
nah, great point. Do you think? Let me just put this question out to you guys. Do you think a person can be totally such a great person and totally drug women and be a crazy person at the same time? Can those two people live inside that body?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that exists.
And
I
that's-
mean, we have holidays for people who've
Yeah.
done that. It's President's Day.
And as Nancy said last week, both of them will get indicted. It's like both of those people will get indicted. But I don't think, like, when they started taking off the Cosby Show, I mean, there were people that grew up on the Cosby Show. People loved the Cosby Show. There were people getting paid off the Cosby Show. They took it off the air, but he wasn't the only person on there. There were other people there.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
you know,
that does affect other people.
it affects other people. I think they tried to take a different world off, too. I happen to like that show.
Love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had a crush on Jada Pinkett. That was the first time I saw her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I did.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It's tough,
Right.
man. It's tough. It's tough to like try to like take everything that the man's done and just say that it ain't nothing anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To just
Then what's the limit? Like, you know, what are we allowing ourselves to overlook for the sake of the good things that they've done?
well, then now you come into the question of, can you separate the music and the man? You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about like if we're gonna go there, then we're gonna say that, okay, the music is different from the man, right? Do we indict the man and leave the music alone? You know what I'm saying? Or do we take down both?
We've done it in different ways all throughout history. So I mean, is it really that bad if we do?
Well, the issue with that is not just the music. Is
yeah.
people are getting royalties from the music. Like they want to stop money from going to these people that are known pedophiles. So they'll go after the music catalog because every time I play your music on Spotify, you're getting whatever amount of money that you're getting.
I agree with the money chase.
That's
but
true.
Yeah, so that's the thing with some people.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you think? Because I agree with the money chase, but guys, I think that influence reigns supreme, though.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I'm
does.
saying? Like you can have the money, dude, but there's a dude that's gonna walk up in the same building as you, right? That is just going to attract people way more than you can, and it don't matter how much money you have, man. That guy got it, and you don't,
Yeah.
and that pisses you off.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
You want to cut it off.
And you want to cut that off.
Right.
It's natural. Like for example, let me give you a perfect example. Right? A person comes in and he's well built and he's in shape and he keeps his body right. Right? He walks into a scene, and there's a bunch of fat people there with their wives. These dudes are having an issue. They are having a meltdown, right? You know why? Because they're like, God damn it, yo, he looks good. They would never say that because they're dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, God damn it, that nigga look good, right? And then what you're really worried about is the fact that, yo, she probably looking at him like, 'cause you know what I'm saying? 'Cause look at me, man. I'm a little bit like this. I'm like massive, and this dude looking all chic and stuff like that. All the veins is popping out of his body and stuff like that. He's coming. All the jeans fit right. I don't remember the last time I saw my dick because my belly's so big. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta pull that joint up. I go through so much struggle to put clothes on in the morning. This dude just looked like he got it. And in your mind as a man, you're like, damn it. Now add
Improve
money to that.
yourself.
Add money to that. Add billions to that. How do you feel now? Yeah, all right.
Ooh, the room got quiet.
You're going to want to take that nigga out. You're going to, at all costs. You're going to be like, he has to go.
He's a threat.
He has to go.
No, that's not true. I would have killed Sean years ago.
Boy, that's what I'm saying. he got to go. You gotta be like, he got because your ass feel threatened. You feel threatened.
We can't be on the earth at the same time,
And
sir.
that's what I'm saying. As men, you feel threatened when that happens.
You
Yo, 'cause
rich
you know why?
bastard.
That person, sirs, that person. You see Sean? He's a perfect example. That person.
Look at you, with
That
your
person-
track suit, with your track suit and your
With a track
sexy
shirt,
arms,
with a big ass hair, veins popping out of everywhere.
wearing
What the
wearing
hell
gray
is his problem?
sweatpants with your penis hanging out.
What the hell is his problem, yo? Hey, Dwayne.
Yeah, hold
That
on.
was a little. Dwayne, I don't understand
Really,
that one.
really, I say that one thing, but you over there doing all this other
Dwayne,
stuff,
Dwayne, I
telling
don't
me about the
understand.
print and shit.
Dwayne, I don't
Really,
understand
you gonna
that
make,
one.
you just made me curse on
Dwayne, I don't understand that one.
That's
wait a
hypocrisy,
minute.
sir.
No,
It's
yo,
hypocrisy.
dude, you feel a certain way as a dude, yo. You do.
But I mean, isn't that a challenge? Improve yourself.
Yeah, but dude, you're fine. Improve yourself. It doesn't take away from
Well, the money thing
from that
that's-
initial thing,
that's-
though. You know what I'm saying? That initial thing that happened, and you're like, well, goddamn, get this guy out of the room. He's posing the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
Like you come on, man. You feel
But that's
like
that's
It shouldn't
that's
be
also
coveting.
You
Don't
don't
do
wanna
that.
say
that's,
it. You
that
feel
also
like
sounds
that.
like a sign of weakness.
That's
dude.
I give him that old school song by what was it? William Devon. Be thankful for what you got. It's a little older than everybody in here, but you know that's what type of stuff.
Because then, if that's the case, then there
Google
will
it.
always be somebody who's gonna make you feel that way.
I got you. I agree with you with that, right? With having the security within your own self.
Yeah.
That initial feeling, though, you feel like that. You know, you have this little thing. You're like,
Of course, yeah.
okay, so then add billions. Add billions and add power to that. Add the fact that you can remove somebody if you so choose to.
That's where integrity comes in, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. So then all these guys are going down the same way, and nobody's looking at the elephant in the room. Okay.
Yeah, it's selective. Justice is selective at times.
Okay.
Yeah. it
We're
is.
men right now, and I told you add billions,
Yeah.
and you have the power to take somebody out.
Yeah, I was like, as a matter
Okay.
of fact, what was it? Weinstein was the
I'm gonna
first
tell
one.
you right now. I'm gonna take you out straight up.
Weinstein was the
No.
first one they spoke about.
They could only be one big dick in the room, and it can't be yours.
Thanks for the compliment.
It has to be mine. You're welcome, my brother. But look.
I just like to put a
they could
pause
only-
on this
they
entire
could-
conversation.
They could. There can only be one of us in the room. And if I have the power to remove you, I'm gonna remove you because you serve as a threat, my brother. Especially if I'm not too secure with myself, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, and even I'm secure with myself because I have all the money. It's not about security; it's about influence.
Mm-hmm.
That person happen to have more influence than you do. What do you do?
That's true.
I mean, when you think about somebody who has influence, we gotta talk about this because I know it happened recently. You know, somebody with a lot of influence. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle.
Man, that's good, boy. Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
talk about somebody with influence. You know, so much so that when you have your funeral in the same arena that Michael Jackson has had his, that says a lot about you. And what's funny is there's a lot of people who don't know who he is or who he was. But it lets me know that, okay, Nipsey knew the right people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, it's, you know, when we talk to a lot of young people, they go, who's Nipsey Hussle? I didn't know who he was till, you know, they're looking at Instagram and posts. But you talk about somebody who knew the right people and the person who was very influential in his own neighborhood, and for that to happen. I recently saw Nick Cannon say something about, you know, the issue of when people are doing right. And there are, he made this comment about, you know, there are dark forces that are out there to try to put you down or try to take you out, especially if you're somebody that influential in your neighborhood. And, like, you know, you think about it, like, it's, you can't help but when you see the pattern, it's true. You look at somebody with a mind like Tupac, you know, the way that he was taken out. You look at, you know, you go down the line, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, people who, with brilliant minds that were ready to really influence and really
I'm glad
make a
you said
change.
that, because Martin Luther King and Malcolm X didn't have more money than anybody.
Right.
They had more influence.
They had influence.
They had influence, and
Right.
that was the issue. That takes, you know, and going back to Nipsey, man, like, yo, I've heard a couple of Nipsey's records, right? And it's not until, like, you hear this untimely death, and you can't help to think that, like, yo, this dude was like he bought a whole mall, like a whole, like,
that strip mall.
and he was getting ready to change that joint around, and, you know, he was getting the gangs together and all that stuff, and you're like, yo, well, damn, man, he was really on to something, trying to, like, bring some type of change out in LA and getting all these Crips and stuff like that, and Bloods to you know, coexist. And then you hear this punk ass dude, right,
Snitch, yeah.
that want to come take him out for that, right? And then, like, you know, like it's baffling to me, because it's just like, yo, dude, like, you know, you want change in your community, but then you kill the person, the agent that's trying to make that change, right?
Right.
And so then what the hell you go from there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, here's my thing. I think that as black community, I took issue with this. I took issue with the fact that police was so quick to say, you know, don't react violence with violence and stuff like that, and, you know, let us take care of the stuff. I'm like, man, y'all niggas are so quick to say that, but y'all the first one shooting us. But we can't handle ourselves. Like, yo, I felt like that dude should have been left to the streets. The streets should have got at him, straight up. I don't like. That's what you deserve, bro. Like, that's what it is. I mean, I know
supposedly
the
killed-
Christian people are gonna say, well, you got to figure. No, damn all that, right? Because when it's war, it's war.
They supposedly
right?
killed 2 of his family members,
Like,
I think.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they should have left homie to the streets. They should have left for the community to take care of that dude. You know what I'm saying? Just because the fact that, like I took issue with the fact that white cops were saying, well, let us take care of this issue, right? Let us. Wait a minute. Where were you when all the other gangbanging was happening and you were the one doing the shooting of all these black kids, right? Now we want to take care of our own issues, right? Now don't beget violence with violence. Since when were you the judge of, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't beget violence with violence, but then you do it. But then when we want to get at somebody that took care of that took out one of our own, right? Now you're preaching to us morality? Really?
Everybody's a hypocrite in their own way, though.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because if you kill, had you killed a cop in Los Angeles, they would have been looking for that guy. You know, themselves. That's how, you know, there are a lot of times when cops, if you kill a cop, then those cops will really take pains
cops
to
take
look
care of
after
each other.
They
Yeah.
take care of each other. So again, when it comes to justice and certain rights, everybody's a hypocrite, and so everybody has like a hypocritical blind spot in their rear view, to adjust. Yeah, so That's how that works.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. You brought that Nipsey Hussle thing, man. That's a shame my homie left like that, man. It's just yo.
So my thing is the overall like attitude or just disposition of people in communities. You know, because it just seems like they're always cutting down leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, where does that leave us as a community?
So do you think that that's an internal problem that we have as a community, or is it something bigger than that?
It has to be something bigger than that, because it's like such a, whenever you see like a repeated pattern of that, it's more than just beyond, I think it's beyond physical.
Mm.
You know, I think that is just something like why is it that it's particular people that always gets cut down? There's no true, whenever a true leader, especially in the black community, rises up, they're quick to cut him off.
Who's they though? Because it just seems to me like, in this case, it's
right,
somebody that look like us.
Somebody that's it's
in our community. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
So that's the thing. Like it makes you wonder. You know, what is it? You know, it has to be something that's beyond physical, that doesn't want to see certain communities prosper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in certain respects, there could be, you know, there, like they were saying that there was an FBI presence when it came to Malcolm X's murder. There are certain instances like that, but certain, when our community is so messed up where you don't even need the FBI to kill you, like somebody in your own crew will. Like the person that killed Nipsey Hussle was taking pictures with him. Like he knew him.
They're dope.
So
they're friends.
So a lot of times you don't need anybody to say, you don't need anybody to say, all right, go, you know, we'll give you $1 million to go kill this guy. You could just be upset that Nipsey Hussle had a better looking woman than you got, or Nipsey Hussle had more money than you got, and you're just jealous because he didn't give you as much as you might have wanted. I don't know what the circumstances were. But it's messed up because it did seem that he was one of somebody doing something positive for. He was actually into ownership, so it was pretty messed up.
Nah, it's devastating, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Devastating to hear. Like he passed out that homie. Like when you looked at the news, man, like he shot him, then kicked him
in the head,
like a dog, man.
Yeah.
Like who does that, man? Like that's deep hatred, man.
Yeah.
That's like, yo, like I'm gonna make sure you die.
I mean,
period.
I don't know if it was like this for you guys in high school, but it was very similar to that. At least I went to a horrible high school, where I remember my freshman year, we were in history class. They were talking about, you know, how you would deal with a scenario where, you know, they were trying to obviously teach the teenagers at the time to approach a situation that could escalate with maturity. Mm. I very vividly remember one of my classmates saying, well, the easiest resolution is a 14-year-old, by the way, a 15-year-old, that said this. The easiest way to make sure that this issue is resolved is just kill you. Either I'll kill you or my cousin will kill you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a huge problem that people have.
14-year-old?
Yeah, freshman year in high school.
Okay.
I mean, that's a huge problem that we have in our community, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah.
That mindset.
How do we get there?
I don't know. Somewhere between our generations.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's kind of like, man. Like when we really start talking about it, man, this should just start getting more depressing, because sometimes you just don't feel like what way out is there. You know what I'm saying? Like our culture is conditioned. Okay, so here's like, for example, I was listening to Kendrick Lamar, right? I'm in here, right? Goat. I was putting on his record, and then here we go back to this whole dick sucking thing again, right? I'm not to bring it back, but I'm just like, here's the point of this whole thing. I'm listening to Kendrick Lamar, and it just seems to me that like, yo, we pick and choose what we want to highlight, like, right? When something like this happened tragic, then we all like, you know, this should never happen, right? But then like, yo, you're talking about all that stuff in your lyrics though. Like you're talking about exactly what homie did in your lyrics, right? And then when you're talking about sexuality, you always, if you realize a rapper, you will never hear, tell me the day that you hear a rapper says, yo, I was getting out my car and I was getting and I just ate this girl out. You never hear that. You hear, I was getting out of my car, got my dick sucked. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, you paint this picture already. You paint this all the time. It's me, and how I'm getting mines, right? Regardless of who is in the way, right? The girl's always doing this to me because I'm this, right? And I'm the one doing all the killing, and I'm all doing all that stuff, right? But when a nigga gets shot down like a dog and get kicked around like a dog, now you want to be all upright.
Yeah.
That it's creating this character, but that's the one thing I don't like about that. It creates this character that's not real, and a lot of young people think that this is where it's at. Like they think, well, what happens is rappers are like actors, and it's not really meant to be taken too seriously. Or at least I don't take it that seriously. You do have artists who portray themselves like just like actors. You had Al Pacino, he was Scarface. Well, there's artists who portray themselves, whether it's on a project or whatever they're doing, they portray themselves as a certain type of character. But the thing is when people just don't know what they're doing.
So you say portray, right?
Right.
Who's telling them to portray themselves like that, though?
Well, I think it's just for the sake of the art.
Okay.
Like the same thing with actors. You have actors like De Niro, like I'm this mobster. The same thing with artists. Well, I'm this mobster. This is what I portray on this record. For real, they're not really like that. Now they might know people who really like that, but they themselves are just portraying or. It's like one of those things where life imitates art imitates life is one of these type of
so
concepts.
Somewhere along the lines, the public doesn't understand that it's all acting.
Yeah, I don't think the full public,
Right.
they don't understand.
So then we think that the public thinks it's serious.
Some of them, yeah, the majority. I think a good
what
majority
sells.
of them.
All right, so then what is the thing that gets the public to think that it's serious, that it's really real? When in actuality, they know that Jay-Z don't live in no hood.
Well, they know that now.
not anymore.
Kendrick don't live in no hood. Not anymore.
Yeah, but that's what sells.
So, right. So then now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
no rapper ever came out. He was like, you know what? I got 2 parents at home. We had a dog, and I was in the suburbs, and I went to MIT. Like nobody's saying that because it doesn't sell anything.
Okay. So then what's going on then? So now we're getting somewhere. So now the record companies or whoever's making the music is saying that, look, this is what sells. If you want to make money, this is what we do. This is what we talk about. Is that what's happening? Are we saying that?
This is what happened. I think this is what happened when NWA.
Oh, let me backtrack right
Okay.
before you click. Most rappers, if you ask that question, they'd be like, "Nah, son, I'm rapping about my life, activities. Ain't nobody telling me what to rap. This is my life. This is what I live."
Right.
And to that you say,
To that I say, the reason that they're rapping like that is because the record companies have made it popular. So you have people that have rapped positive stuff, didn't rap about any killing, that had really horrible. Like
Chubb Rock.
you remember like Chubb Rock, people like D12 that were that was Eminem.
KRS-One.
Yeah, had
talking
really
about those
rough, really rough childhoods, but they came out and they rapped about something different because that's what they felt like rapping about. But when NWA came out and they were rapping about what they knew, but it got so popular that record company was like, all right, we want more of that. So you had NWA, and then you had other people come out. That's when gangster rap got big, and everybody was rapping about the same thing. So
You know what's funny to me, because NWA, when I checked them out, like when I you listen to something as a kid, right? And you're just like, yeah, fuck the police.
Right,
And you're like, word, yo.
Yeah, I
like,
remember that,
You're getting
man.
all hype.
Yeah.
But it's not until you sit back and you listen to it, right? They were talking about the same things we're talking about right now.
Yep.
Like racial profiling.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they were saying fuck the police, because they were saying we were being racial profiled, right? And they were getting tired of that, so they formed a group, and they're just I'm sure there are layers to that, right? But in this, that's the basis of why NWA is formed. You know what I'm saying? As a method of being defiant towards the law.
The man. Yeah.
Right. Well,
Or
I mean, well, they were
whatever.
telling stories about what goes on in their neighborhood,
Yeah.
and I remember when the NWA came out, and it was just like being from like, especially like living over here on this side of the coast, you didn't know what was going on out there in Cali. Like they painted the picture pretty good for us that was on this side, because all we saw, we all know the artists. It was Boogie Down Productions. It was Public Enemy. Like Public Enemy
Yeah.
was probably like
Public
the
Enemy.
hardest group
Yeah.
until NWA came out with, with the Straight Outta Compton and the NWA record and the Eazy-E record. But yeah, like they painted the picture so well. It was just like, wow, that goes on over there. It was just like, okay, this is, they really, but it just became this thing where, it just blew up. And I think that's what Dwayne is talking about. Well, more record companies are like, well, you know what, this sells. Let's just put this out. As controversial as it was.
But I mean, the drawback of that was, one, it's not. Let's just say I'll just take this. Let's just play devil's advocate. Let's just say that they're not glorifying it. They're just saying what they need to say. The only problem with that is in saying what you need to say, now casts you're now, because there's so much money in it, they're now making people fabricate certain things that they may not have gone through. Number one. Number two, you're now highlighting very negative activity. So the cool thing to do now, especially now with your little whoever or whatever, they'll be like, okay, I just took a bunch of drugs. I'm walking outside, and I've never in my life, in my years of living, been able to walk down the street, see a woman say, "Hey, bitch, come here," and they'd be like, "Okay." Like that's never happened. Like that's never happened. But in hip, a lot of music that'll make you think it's okay. So it's a lot of misogyny, which a lot of black women, especially in my communities, and black women now are divesting from black men now. It's like, we don't want anything to do with you. We're gonna date other people because y'all are treating us like garbage. So it's it becomes that's something that's one of the drawbacks of it. You have to learn when to turn it off. So I might have NWA on my headphones, but when I speak to my wife, I'm like, yes, dear, what would you like? yes, my queen. Yes.
Well, at least you have that, but I can't speak for Kodak Black.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
This
need to
nigga-
put Suicide Watch out on Kodak. 'Cause Kodak's about to get murky out here.
He don't got no filter, yo. He don't got no filter. But like, bro, you
Correct.
can't wait 2 years before you say something like
You're
that.
not even
You know
supposed
what
to.
I'm
Don't say anything.
like,
Just, you know.
cats are like, he's dumb. Like, why would you go at like?
What?
Like, you trying to do shows, right?
Exactly.
And not get attacked, right? Like, what is your deal, man? Like these young dudes just don't be using their brains, man. Like, you just think a little bit.
I do want to piggyback a little bit off what Dwayne said, but bring back something that you said as well, like how you said musicians and actors are very similar.
Yeah.
One also commonality is actors have directors.
Mm-hmm.
So do, in most instances, record deals, musicians have directors.
I can get with that for sure.
So a lot of times I don't even put. I mean, there is obviously a level of responsibility on the musicians themselves, but there's a huge responsibility on what they're investing in to be sent out to us within this community.
But we love that though, don't we? We love that. We can't front. We love that, Matt.
Well,
We love to be given.
we
love
love-
to be given millions.
people love the thrill. So of course
Right.
they're gonna.
I love the fact that when you see me rocking in that Maybach, right? And you see me like in these gold chains and stuff like that. You see me looking good, right? Because you don't look good.
I prefer watches
You know what I'm
over
saying?
gold chains.
Yeah, I hear that. But whatever the case may be, right? Whatever the case may be, we're infatuated with, like, look at me to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
understand
true.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, Matt, you see how I'm rocking, dude? Like, yeah, son, yeah, my nigga, you need to get up to my level. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, yeah,
right.
you know, yeah, like, yeah, who cares? You're given a check, right? And then in giving a check, you don't even know how to manage the check, right? You go blow it on dumb shit, right?
Yeah.
And then you get this chain all to make you. Our goal is to make you look worse.
That's true.
Where is that?
Right.
Like, what are we really talking about
why
when
is
we're
it-
talking about, like,
Why is
you
it
know,
such an issue? Why is this the larger issue in the Black and Latino community in comparison to like other communities? Like, why is that?
I'll let you take that. I have an answer, but I'll let you take that.
Well, I mean, like, there's
I
I think it's based on
a
a conversation that I think you guys had in the podcast recently, but go ahead.
there's things that are deeply rooted in our community. Being in this country, you know, there's this man, it's really
I think it came from slavery too.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's where yeah. So like it's this thing where you've been taken out of your land, put in a place where even till this day there's an amendment that still reminds you that you're still not as civil as you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like anything that you can, and that's why I go back to, okay, it's got to be beyond something physical. Because anytime in the history of any black social structure or infrastructure that has been put together and that has prospered, it has been taken away. Black Wall Street in Oklahoma.
1921.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the, in a sense, you could even look at the black church.
Well, no, and I think that's where it is too, because there was always a sense, even back in slavery, when we got that Sunday off to go to church, where you get your best suit out of the closet, so you don't. So when you get to church, you don't look like what you've been through. You know, come on, we've all heard that. I don't look like what I've been through.
Yeah.
You know, I got the best suit on. My wife's hat is bigger than yours. You know, we have to look the part. We have to look better than we actually are. So that's deeply rooted in the black community. I'm not Hispanic, so I can't speak about them. But in the black community, at least, we are the ones where we want to make sure that we have the sneakers better than everybody else. We want to make sure we look the part, even though we don't own our houses.
There's a
Oh, I
point.
see.
There's
So
a point
that's-
that you have to prove that
There's a point that you have to prove. I'm doing better
there's
than
that need to be validated in this country.
I see. So then
And-
that's the method that we use. We use the clothing method and having things
Right.
as a means of like we've
Feeling
arrived
validated,
and we're
yeah.
validated
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then okay, all right.
And
Yeah.
like you know, like, and that stigma has just been there, you know, since, you know, like when they start doing certain things or creating certain propaganda, you know, the one thing that's like big in social that I notice in social media and which really gets on my nerves is when you have you know, these so-called like black people that are woke, and then they bring up white Jesus.
What you mean? Where's that? White.
And they bring up this thing about white Jesus and like, oh, how you guys worship a Jesus that's white, and you know, obviously we know that you know people they use that, and these are, you know, we talk about the word perversion, but they perverted the Christian faith by painting Jesus an image that is a white Jesus, and that has you know, they use it over black people, and then they create this image, this image of a white is right type of mentality. And okay, yes, they did, but the Bible, you know, if you really look at the Bible, there's nothing about Jesus being white, and that's cool. But what happens is you have black people who are they're trying to be woke, and they're trying to like go against the grain of Christianity, not understanding, okay, Jesus existed before the Atlantic slave trade,
Yo,
and he was a person in the Middle East.
Interesting to me.
You know,
You know what interesting to me, yo? Every culture deems that their Jesus looks like them.
Yeah,
Of course. Yeah.
All right. You know
right.
what
Like
I'm
they
saying?
make. Here's the thing.
Every
Like
culture-
white people, they on
White folks
Europeans.
would think
right,
Jesus
and
looks
then,
like them.
and on the other end
Black
of the
folks,
spectrum,
we're like,
He's Shaka
The hair
Zulu
make
black.
like wool, man.
Yeah, like
This
yo,
is black.
come on.
We're black.
They make him look
Like-
like they make him look like Shaka Zulu black. Like no, I don't
the
think he's look like
Hindus
that either.
Thinks
Like
that he's he's Buddha.
Yeah,
he's the big,
exactly.
He's the big guy.
Yeah.
He's the big fat guy. Like whatever. Like every culture thinks is that
people are
like-
gonna really be disappointed when
Yo,
they
they're
actually
gonna.
see
Yo, I'm
Jesus.
serious. We're in for a big ass surprise, yo. Because
Yo.
whoever we're going to see,
Yeah, yo, people are gonna lose their minds, yo. People are gonna be sick. They're gonna be sick to
Yo.
their stomach. They're like,
you know what I'm saying? Like but it's this thing in us, man. Like every culture's trying to rule over another culture, yo. We just we can't get over that thing, yo.
It's funny.
Every culture thinks that our culture is
Yeah,
what's-
but they
is-
can't do
is-
that because he comes from a specific geological place on the earth.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
He looked like something.
yeah.
Middle Eastern. Yeah.
So you think?
He didn't look like anything.
So you're saying? So you're saying?
Look, here's my point.
saying
Here's
he's
my
clear?
point. Here's my point. Here's my point. Here's my point. Okay, he looks like something, right? Okay, what did he look like? Let's go there.
Middle
What did he look
Eastern
like?
man.
There's
A
no
Middle
such thing,
Eastern
no
man.
such thing as the Middle East.
Okay, are we sure?
There's no. Yeah.
Are we sure, guys? Oh, so you're gonna tell me? Also, then you saw Jesus.
No, I'm just
Okay,
saying.
so then we're not sure. Nobody
I'm,
here is sure.
I'm
about
saying.
anything.
I'm saying he didn't look like Genghis Khan. Because
Right.
wherever you are from geographically, you're gonna have certain features that coexist with where you're from. So if you come from, the Caucasus Mountains or someplace
But
where
if
there's
you
no sun, you'll
okay,
probably
if
be
you
pale.
wanna
You'll probably
go
be a
on
white person.
If you wanna go on a
Just guessing.
technicality, if you wanna go on a technicality though, like he wasn't really brought here by sperm,
True.
right? So how could he look like anything?
Look
But
like
he
his mama.
he took the form
He
of
wasn't
man.
brought here by a man's sperm. He was
He-
brought here according to what you would say is the Holy Ghost.
But
right?
he took the form of man.
It
And-
doesn't matter. It wasn't the sperm of a man, though.
And also,
But he
there was
did take
people-
the form of a
He
man.
took
man.
the form of a man.
Right.
The form can mean mad things.
I could just imagine a white Jesus in the middle of all those tan people.
Yeah, like
Walking around,
imagine.
Follow me.
Or
Hey,
like a
hey,
dark skin.
Hey, remember that time when they was running from Pharaoh? He was young, and they went to Egypt.
How about if he was
And
an
then, like,
African
it's like-
Jesus?
he's
How
like-
about if he was an African
Yeah.
Jesus?
He's like-
walking around like
he's
you
like-
are gay. You are gay. And you are gay. You know what I'm saying?
Like Jesus in
Like,
Jesus in
who
Egypt. If he
knows
was
what the
white.
hell he could look like anything. Yo, all right.
It's like I'm gonna put Jesus in Egypt, and he's going to hide in Egypt, and he's white. Be like that he is. He is
know
that.
what I'm
He is
saying?
that. That is Jesus. He is that.
Yo, fellas, man, this is crazy, yo. But yo, dude, man.
I
Yo.
just think we're gonna be in for a surprise, like
I think
when,
so.
when we see what he really
True.
looks
Okay.
like. To me, I just don't like the fact that people, again, getting back to black people, because I see what they're doing. Like you see the pattern. It's like, well, they brought us here, and now what they want to do is they want to call on their ancestors. Like how the people in Africa normally did it. And I'm like, really? You want to call on your ancestors? Like, your dead uncle can't do nothing for you. I'm sorry, your aunt died of cancer. What's she going to tell you? Oh, I figured it out. Like, no, it doesn't work. I'd rather call on Jesus. That's all I'm
Well,
just
do you
saying.
think there's truth to that? Like, I mean, I don't know, man.
I had a
People are
conversation
saying
with somebody about
ancestors,
this
though,
recently as
but
well.
like, do you think there's something to that, though?
What, and calling on ancestors?
Not calling on
Oh.
ancestors, really. But I mean, I don't look at it as calling on ancestors. I look at it as like, look, let's say you had an uncle that passed away, and the uncle left you certain things, right?
Right.
I think that's calling upon things that you've learned from your previous generation, right?
Yeah.
As far as like things that you could
Yeah.
put in your generation. That's how I looked at when they say calling my ancestors. Like, okay, we're getting the information from them. Not
Oh
so
no,
much in
they're
a-
they're like
not so
pouring
much
out
in a full-
libations and doing all these
yeah.
little rituals to call on their
Oh, yeah.
ancestors and their ancestral spirits.
But yo,
and-
don't we do that in church? Wait a minute.
no.
Nah.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, all right.
Yeah, go into
Explain this to
that.
me.
Let's go
Explain
into
this
that.
to me.
Wait, what
Explain
church
this
is
to me
this?
real quick?
'Cause-
Yo, Fickle, give me 5 more minutes. Explain this to me real quick.
Church of
You pour
Scientology?
out portions, right? They're pouring out portions. We're pouring out oil, and we're like, right? And we're naming cars. Some of us are not speaking in tongues, bro. Let's keep it
naming
real.
cars.
She
We're
bought a
not
Hyundai,
speaking in
she bought a
tongues. We
Hyundai.
learn the language, we learn the way of the church, and we start regurgitating the same thing. We're not doing the same thing they are. We're doing the same thing, yo.
You're not
There's
calling
no
on
difference.
ancestors.
Well, not
But,
we, but
Who's Matt? Okay, God. Okay, how do I say this? Yo, guys, we're not calling on ancestors, Matt. But Matt, we're spitting a whole bunch of bullshit on the pulpit, yo.
Ooh.
It's
Mute his mic.
nonsense. No, dude, it is bullshit because, dude, okay. There's no Holy Ghost. There's no Holy Ghost that was working through you. You learn how to speak in tongues, and you're like, oh, shut up, and you learn how to make your tongue roll really, really quickly. It does nothing that it doesn't edify what's going on right now. You can't translate what's going on. Nobody understands you. Everybody's a little spooked out. God forbid somebody comes in that's new that don't know what's going on. They're spooked out. Right? No one knows what's going on, but you're in your heavenly language. Somehow you're speaking to God and nobody else is but you. And you're mad at somebody putting potions? Come on, dog. It's manipulation. It's the same thing. Just using different ways.
It's not the same thing as ancestral
It's
worship.
It's
I don't-
Matt. Matt.
I think that's just ignorance.
You're
but it's
pouring
not,
potions, bro. You're pouring potions.
Yeah, but if
and
you're
I'm
pouring
talking about the
potions,
Holy
that's a problem.
Spirit. That's not there.
Yeah, okay. To be fair, both ancestry worship and our particular faith happens to be just that. It happens to be a faith. We can't prove it. We can't disprove it. So I'm saying, in the sense of the ancestry worship, that's just not our particular bag. We might biblically, because we read the Bible, be able to say something towards that or against it, because our God says that it's wrong. But it's, again, because of our faith in what has been said. So it becomes an impasse. Well, I believe this because God said so. It's like, well, how do you know? Because I have a Bible. Well, how do you know the Bible is real? It's because I have faith that it is. Why do you speak to your ancestors? Because, I have faith that my ancestors are speaking to me and they're moving things around. So, we can't prove nor disprove that.
Yeah, so that's my
But
thing.
also,
man.
so
Well,
what-
well, with that
That's
one,
not
what
what
do
the
you
Book
try-
of
One more
James
thing.
says.
But we also have to look at the history of Christianity and know that there have been pagan
All right,
influences
my thing
with
is,
Christianity.
I get what you're saying.
True.
but We don't know, right?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line, fellas? Like, we do the same nonsense. Come on, man. Let's talk about that, man. Please. We do the same nonsense. You try.
Some
Do,
of it-
do I
some of
really
it
need to
has
start? Do I
poured in.
really need to start naming things, Joe? I could name them. I could name them.
Some of the stuff has poured in because of culture.
Right. So then, how you mad at them with ancestral stuff, but you're doing the same thing in a different way? It's the same thing. They're nonsense, both of them.
correct. They're both nonsense. So we just have to.
So
find
why
the-
are we right though?
we have to find the truth?
Okay. So then, why are we right and they're wrong?
Well, everybody who believes in their own belief knows that they're right.
Okay, so then it goes back to saying that, like, okay, then we all think we're right according to our own culture. It goes right back to that same thing.
But then obviously we're also called to enlighten people who don't know Christ. So there goes that as well.
Yeah, it becomes a faith thing. It's just I'm sharing my faith with you. None of us
So,
knows if we're actually
so
right.
the people have faith in the ancestors. If we're talking about faith, they have faith in something, that something is calling back to them, right? That's faith. That's still the same thing,
Allegedly, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I just have to show them why they're wrong. That's basically that's basically the whole thing. They just have to show me where I'm wrong. I got to show them where they're wrong.
Yeah.
That's just how that works.
Yo, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there because it could
just got
could
good.
Go crazy, yo. But yo, son, fellas, it's been real, man. We're getting ready to end this. Yo, this is the Uninvited Podcast where I'm sure we talked about some things that probably would not get you invited.
Thank you to the
But
guests. Thank you to the guests.
We thank the guests. The guest was amazing. You know, they were completely involved and gave us that energy. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the producer, Faku, who put this whole thing together. Love, 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 love. And we out, fellas.